Yo, welcome to Spurs Kings TV. It is Monday, the new regular time, and it's time for Ashmatic Analysis. Ash, you well?
Boy, I could be better, man. I'm a little bit under the weather, but we move, man. We move. Man. I won't be here for long. That's what I'm saying.
Good, man. Good. Back to controlling things, back logged into everything this week, so I'm all good.
Cool.
But let's bring out the guest straight away because we've got a lot to talk about, a lot to digest. But as usual, Monday regular. Oren, you well?
Yeah, I'm good. Just tired, feeling this winter cold weather. Just want to sleep. I want to hibernate the fuck, man. Watching the Spurs, I got some sleep, which is good.
As we are.
Yeah.
And then a big welcome back. Been a long time. TJ, you good?
Well done, people. I'm back, man. Mad tired, but we're doing it again.
Big up, TJ.
And then last but not least, but a big up to Reese or R1 as we know him. You good? You well?
I'm good, man. Can't complain, man. Thank you for having me on the show again, man.
Big up, man.
So let's dive straight into it. So we obviously had the cup game last week in the Champions League, and everyone was saying, has Frank finally turned the corner? And then Forest happened. Ash.
Yes.
Explain to me, why did Forest happen?
Do you know what? I feel like straight up, he just cancelled out all the work he'd done before. You see that little Brentford, the Prague, Saliva Prague, whatever you call it. Might as well have not played it. So we're back to square one. And like everyone's asking the same questions. We're asking more questions than we got answers for, in my opinion. And patience are wearing thin in the fan base, and rightly so, because people want to get behind something and they can't really see what it is they're trying to get behind at the moment. Forest, obviously, we got dashed. Simple as that. You know, Stone Cold Dash with the 2 beers, like bang. You know what I'm saying? He came over and he literally, 3-0, you know, 3 and no reply. Like, it's crazy. I just speechless. But lucky for me, I was outside this weekend, hence why I'm a little bit under the weather. But I enjoyed myself on the weekend, so I ain't got to worry about Forest smashing man up. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, I missed the whole game. First game I've missed.
As well, yeah?
Yeah. First game I've missed in 5 years. First game I've not watched.
As well. I missed the whole game as well.
These are lucky.
These
are the lucky ones.
I had to watch it back, and do you know what? It's really weird. I switched off all my notifications yesterday, so every group chat had to be silenced until I watched the game back. Yeah. And one person messaged me. Yeah, this is all they said, and I went, "Oh crap! Is Frank going to be sacked tonight?" And I was like, and the person. And I was like, oh, what the hell's happened? And then I watched the game back and I was like, okay, it makes sense. But this has got to be... So, Oren, I'm going to come to you next. Because obviously you've been against Frank in the last few weeks, actually.
Not necessarily against him, just...
you've been against him. Yeah, I've been surprised.
You have, yeah.
Usually you're the one sticking up for him and you're the one against the fan base. But even you... It's not Angie, is it?
Yeah. You're right. I have been against him because I did say he was swapping, changing tactics, and then since the last stream, he kept the same tactics against Brentford. Talking about Brentford and then Slavia Prague. But I've also been saying about the players, and Nottingham Forest showed perfectly. Those players don't have fight. There is no dog fight in them. Absolutely nothing. And watching that match, it was kind of like from the first 15 minutes, I knew it was going to happen. I knew Nottingham Forest was going to win. I didn't know if it was going to be by the margin that they won, but I can just see it. Spurs came out and none of those players really looked up for it. It was kind of like, we're here. Okay, things aren't going right. It's okay, lads. There was no fight. There was no commitment. Yes, of course, fans will be saying Frank because that's the thing. You know, as I said, if Daniel Levy was here, he'd be like, You know what I mean? But I cannot go against Frank in this time because that Spurs team gave the ball away 25 times. Simmons made a pass to a Nottingham Forest player. He looked up and went to pass it across, and he got intercepted. It was just watching that team. I don't think Pep Guardiola mixed with, say, Sir Alex Ferguson could have been managing that team, and it still wouldn't have happened. You cannot train desire and will. And some guy said in his quote, "You can have all the talent, but it's nothing without will." And he wasn't having to go at Frank. That Spurs team, they had no will, no commitment. It was just kind of like, meh. Even Vicario, like the goals that he let in afterwards, he wasn't shouting around. He was like, "Nah, okay." I was like, okay, there's no. If your players don't turn up, there's nothing the manager can do. And even Kudus, like, yeah, Kudus is just starting to, for me, show he just likes to dribble all the time.
Oh, to piss me off.
Yeah,
That's what he started to do.
What I've noticed about Kudus is, you see, if he doesn't start well, that's it. He just completely removes himself from the game. And I think in the change rooms, Frank must have said to him, "Right, I want you to pass the ball more, stop dribbling." So that's all he did. But his head wasn't in it. That was it. And it's like, right, yeah, it's happened before, and it's like you can't keep playing a manager for watching these players, and as soon as something goes wrong, it just trickles through every one of them, and they're like, yeah, I can't be bothered.
R1, come to you next. How you feeling?
To be honest, I feel at this point, yeah, I'll be real. I feel a little bit disappointed because I was one of the people, yeah, that at the start, like through summer, I was probably excited to see Frank come in. I thought that he was the type of manager maybe you might need after an Ange, someone to just organise things and put structure and etc. But obviously, over the last few weeks, it hasn't really gone to a plan like that. It ain't really looked like that. And what worries me mainly with Frank is that I don't really see like how Andrew was here. Like he had a lot of aura, so he had a lot of presence and things like that. Like I felt like there's nothing to do with his tactics, by the way, or him as an actual manager, just as a man, as a person. I feel like he had something to cling on to, even though he used to piss me off when he used to go in interviews and chat shit and do things like that. But there was still this, like, I felt like players couldn't think they were bad for him. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Like, players couldn't move a certain way around, and no matter what's going on, even if we're going to go out there and lose 5-0, you still couldn't move a certain way around him. That's how I felt anyway. With Frank, I get the kind of opposite feeling. Like, I feel like there's not really a lot of respect there. So I feel like that's already a major issue, and I feel like it's shown on the pitch because, as Orange said, a lot of these players, the way how they carry on right now, it's like they don't care. It's like when I'm seeing them, I don't see them busting guts, and this ain't even about the level of quality. This is just about professional pride in a way. Like I don't feel like they give their all. I don't feel like there's certain stats on there that a lot of it is tactical, and I'll get into Frank in a minute, but there's parts where I just look at some of these players and I just think, come on, like, win your duels, win your tackles. But then that goes into, again, I'll look at the squad and I just think it's a very skinny, weak squad. So I think there's a lot of, when you look at things like that, we're not really going to get a lot of that. But yeah, there's just a lot of things that, so just going into the Nottingham Forest game, I'll be real. I came home, same as Marlon, I came home, I put on the game, switched off everything, all my notifications, everything. Watching about 20 minutes, I saw the goal, I saw how we conceded, I switched off. The rest of that, I went to Twitter, and all I could see is Frank this, Frank that. I said, yeah, we lost. So I did, from that was how I knew what was happening. I ain't even seen the goals back. I just can't be. I just don't care. I saw the Hudson-Odoi, obviously, like, but the other. Oh, and so I did see them. They were bangers still. So I did actually see them, but I didn't see anything else through the game. So I can't really give you an analysis on the game. I'll be real. I don't know what happened, but I'm assuming it was more of what we've seen, more of the same. Frank's kind of weird tactics, like this low XG stuff. Like that's what I said. We'll get into Frank later, but this kind of low XG business that I'm seeing, it's like that's for me. I feel like as a manager, if you can't even get your team to create chances, it don't matter. People say we ain't got Madison, Solanke, all these man. It don't matter. What are they gonna do? We cannot get that ball into shooting areas. We cannot get that ball into dangerous areas. So it just don't matter. Like it don't matter who's there or whatever not. But yeah, I think there's two separate issues going on at this point, and they're both colliding right now and it's causing a big problem. So yeah, that's my analysis of where we are right now.
TJ, how you feeling?
Yeah, just quick one. DK, I can kind of hear an echo. Just to let you know, or some sort of feedback. Would you just type it? Just a minute ago.
Yeah.
I could hear a kind of like an echo. Just to let you know.
Hold on, let me change my mic settings.
Yeah. Cool. Look, man, let me be so real with you, man. I told you from the start, I didn't want Frank in. I made it clear. I made it abundantly clear. I didn't want Frank in. Now, look, now I have to support the process, and it's going to be stupid for me to say Frank out, because really and truly, I'm not being fair on Frank. We have to give him the year. You know, we've got ourselves in this mess. We have to ride out. And look, it just doesn't help the situation of, like, our players are so, I don't know. We're not as bad as what we're seeing. This is the problem, you know. It's getting to the point where it's frustrating to watch Tottenham. I'm the same with most of the panel. Look, I watch the first half. No, okay, in fact, I lied. I watched until the substitutions. And when I saw Ben Davies, I turned that shit off. I said no more. I said no more for my mental health. I know, I'm dead serious. I said no more.
that Ben Davies one's triggered everyone.
Nah, man, you know what? Big up Ben Davies, you know. You're my legend. But, bro, for real. Like, I don't know what he was smoking. I need to get Frank a better plug. Big man team. I need to get... Listen, I promise you, I don't know what he was thinking by that substitution. Someone explain to me why the substitution... Why didn't you just... Look, we're already 2-0 down. Just throw the towel and put more midfielders on. You still got Tell, Alderbear, and Johnson. I'd rather lose trying.
You know what? To be honest, I just quickly come in. When he brought on Ben Davies, I thought he was going to go free at the back and move Porro more forward. And he didn't do that. So I was like, okay, carry on.
And look, and maybe my ball knowledge is not there in it. Maybe Frank knows something that I don't know. But surely when you're trailing by 2 goals, the worst that can happen is you not try and score. I want to see us losing. I want to see us losing trying. Do you get where I'm coming from? I can't. Nottingham Forest was such a hard watch, and you know, I didn't want Frank, but TJ, I have to support him because I'm not going to say Frank out.
I think when Frank brought Davies on, I think it was a resign that no matter what he did, it wasn't going to change.
So this was a question I was going to ask, because
it wasn't going to change.
Yeah, no matter what, because like you said, he made the subs, but yet, as Oren said earlier, they still didn't try. So actually, it doesn't matter which tactics he ends up bringing on. If they're not,
that's a massive problem. Then you know, can I be honest with you? Look, that's a massive problem, because if your manager doesn't know what's happening, it's ding ding ding. I'm not saying Frank out, but it is Frank out. Because he's lost for ideas. I need my manager.
It's not even ideas. It's
inspired. Like, it's chance creation and tackling and winning duels.
That's not. That's
you can't do that, bro. Like,
that's a player thing. You cannot. If you look at Frank at I'll be very quick because I want to get DK in here.
Sorry. I'm so frustrated, man. Sorry about that, man.
It's just like
I've heard Danny all day.
Yeah.
Carry on.
It's like, because if you see the last 2 games when Spurs did try, we all praised the players. Not one person said Frank did well. So the players showed they can do it. It's just that they don't. And I think what Frank has changed from Brentford is that at Brentford, yes, the players might not be the same caliber, but you know that those players would run into the ground for that club. They would do that, no problem. At Spurs, we've seen enough times that Spurs don't have those players. As soon as shit goes bad, they just go missing.
Yep.
DK, please.
No, it's weird because I never agree with you, Oren. Like I never normally agree with you. I'm literally agreeing with you like completely. Like, like I think there's just a fundamental problem at the football club with just everything. The way the culture is at the football club, the way that it's like it's not just one thing. It is an accumulation of a lot of different things. So there's blame everywhere. Like there's blame on the manager, there's blame on the players, there's blame on the board, there's blame on how the culture and how they've let this kind of acceptance for mediocrity be within this football club. I mean, the players are pampered prima donnas, in my opinion. We have a world-class training facility. It's like a 5-star hotel, right? and it's just like they're so pampered to the point where they feel like they're actually celebrities rather than footballers first. And that's the problem. We've got this, like, there's no mentality at the football club where you have to win every game or you've got to give it your all. And as a footballer who's paid the money that they're paid, as a fan, the money that we pay to go and watch them, whether that's on TV, in the stadiums, going around the country to watch them, or outside the country, you expect the one thing, which is effort and desire and just a little bit of heart for the badge that they're wearing. But the fact that, like Oren said, I'm so completely with what you said. To me, what I saw on that pitch, I can't blame the manager for what I saw. I blame the players completely on the weekend, right? Because I saw players that, like we said, we played against Brentford and the players were up for it. You could see it. They were winning every duel. They were battling. They were attacking. They didn't stop moving. It was the one game this season for me where I saw the players. I was in the stadium and the players were constantly moving, giving their teammates options in different places of the pitch. Porro kept overlapping all the time, right? And against Nottingham Forest, it was like they didn't want to play. It was genuinely like they just didn't want to play football. And to me, that is a fundamental problem with the players. And that is why I say that there's too many players at this football club that are average, because, and how I define average is not saying they can't perform at levels that we can see them perform at. It's just they can't do it on a consistent basis. And that comes down to a lot of different things why a player is an average player and why a player is a top quality player. Now, the top quality players are the ones who perform consistently at a high level because they've got a lot of different combinations of things why they perform at that level. So you've got the effort, right? You've got the application, you've got the professionalism, you've got the desire, you've got the how they hold themselves accountable, like if they're given a bad performance, right? They've got the ability as well, right? But the players who are average, they can play well for 1 or 2 games or a couple of games a season, but their normal is where we are right now because they don't have also the mental strength to be able to hold themselves accountable and play at that level consistently, which is why the best players go to the top clubs and are paid the most money because they can do it on a consistent basis. And I think there's too many weak-minded players at this football club, too many weak-minded, like the mentality at this football club. And personally, look, I'm still not sure whether Frank's the right man for the job. Personally, I want to give him a chance. I think that he can do a lot better with once he gets his players, because let's face it, he's had one transfer window and we've got 2 players we bought on a permanent and 2 players were loan players, right? And they weren't even players that really we were going to go for straight away, right? Mwani is someone who we only got because Dominic Solanke got injured the day before the last day of the transfer window or something like that, right? So that was never really the plan, and he was going to go to Juventus. So it's like we can't expect Frank to work miracles with a team that finished 17th last season, forgetting the Europa League, right? And expect us to be doing better than what we're really doing. For me, I expected us to finish mid-table with how it's been going, and the fact that we've also, people forget we've lost a lot of goal threat contributions have been taken out this team and not been replaced. So when you lose Maddison to injury, you lose Kulusevski, you've taken out a declining Son Heung-min, right? That's 66 goals and assists taken out of your team straight away. Where is that 66 goals coming from? And then that's not even adding Dominic Solanke, who contributed to goals last season. And I don't even rate Dominic Solanke, but you still have to add that in. That's another 10 to 15 goal and assist contributions, right? Just say 10 for argument's sake. I think it's somewhere around that. So that's 76 goals and assist contributions with 4 players who haven't even seen the football at this club this season, because one of them's gone and the other's injured. So and we expect what, Odebear and Tell and Richarlison to bring up those numbers? I mean, it's bonkers. It's honestly bonkers.
Point though, like you were saying, boom. Like as a manager, as a coach, you need to get the players up the pitch and make the team be able to create chances. So he was saying, even with those players back, the way we create, that's been a major issue at the moment. You see what I'm saying? So style of play is one thing. Like, you understand? Like people want to get behind the style of play because that's where they can have their hopes and their dreams. But in terms of actual creating stuff, like you see teams that are less than us, you know what I mean, creating more than us. You're talking about
there's a reason for that, though.
And also,
Is it only Burnley that have created less, right?
But just to say to DK's point as well, yeah. So then, what about the goals that we're conceding? Because it's cool to say that we ain't got X, Y, and Z up front, which for me, I don't think that Frank's getting 62 or whatever goals, however many goals go out of them, and I don't think Frank's getting that because firstly, you can see we're not even getting the ball down that side of the pitch, Hardy. So I don't see what Madison so just add to this current team, and then also goals are getting banged in against us. What ain't he supposed to be defend? He's got all his defenders. He's got every single defender. Previous managers have had worse defenses or injury-ridden defense. So at this point, why are we getting smoked? Like, why are so many goals going in? I can't defend that. I can't defend the fact of Bentancur still playing. I can't defend the fact of Richarlison still playing. You can't tell me that he can't take these guys out of the squad. Palhinha might have his deficiencies and whatever, but he's a specialist in the area. Use him, partner him next to Bergvall, partner him next to Gray. Let Gray play more games. He's going to make mistakes. Cool, he made a mistake here. That's them things are going to happen. But for me, playing players like Bentancur is half the issue. Can you not see that the guy is useless? Like,
yeah, but he's playing Gray as well.
Between him and Richarlison,
you're going against Marlon's guy here. Hold up.
No, Bentancur is rubbish. He's the worst. He's one of the worst players in this team.
He's not the worst player in the team. Right?
Frank's
one of them.
It's Frank.
He's one of them.
It's the way Frank wants to play.
No, I don't want Bentancur to play there. I don't want Bentancur to be at the Tottenham, to be honest with you, right? I think it's the only reason they signed his contract extension is to secure money when they sell him. That's the only reason I think they've done it. If you actually look the correlation, if you look at and I'm sure Ash must have looked at this because he's Mr. Statman, right? But if you look at when Bentancur and Paulinho were playing in the center of the midfield, right, we were conceding a lot less. We were very, very hard to break down, right? But every fan was complaining of how boring we were. We were so boring. We were scoring more set pieces. We were basically the other set piece team to Arsenal. As soon as Frank did what the fans wanted, which was to start changing it and taking Paulinho out the team and playing Bentancur with different players, right? We started to open up more, which is exactly what I said was going to happen. Because unfortunately, these players are not enough.
That's weak. Like to me, that's weak. Andrew, again,
I agree.
No, Andrew, I'm not backing Andrew, but Andrew never supported the fact that he's doing what he's doing. Why is Frank listening to me? I'm not a manager. I don't.
No, it's not listening. Here's the thing.
Because they booed Vicario at home.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
I agree with you. I agree with that.
But here's the thing. Like last week, I said, because I've been the advocate of that formation. But what I said last week was play Bentancur in the Champions League because I think Bentancur suits the Champions League. It's slower, it's more technical, and I think his best game this season was against Copenhagen when he was by himself because it was slow.
Correct.
Palhinha played in the Premiership because he's a biter. Palhinha, it should have been the other way around. Bentancur should have started against Slava Prague, and Palhinha should have started against West Ham or Nottingham Forest. Because when he came on, it was too late, but Palhinha was biting, and that he needs to set the tone.
And it wasn't great against Slavia Prague either, with Paulinho playing in the middle. Like it just wasn't, the ball wasn't being moved quick enough. And this is where I did agree with you.
Yeah, but in the Champions League, play better because he can move the ball quicker. But in the Premiership, especially against a Nottingham Forest team, because every team that's beaten Spurs has been a team that has done one thing: pressed.
Yes.
Hustle. That's what they've done. When they've lost the ball, they don't try and press again. They drop back in the deep formation. So they don't play a low block. The 3 goals that Nottingham Forest scored, the first one was pressing. The second one was he turned Bentancur easily, more than the coat, swung the ball in, and then that last shot, but like, so it's a case of, once again, I think the same thing happened to Angie. I think that Angie had trust in the players, and the players let him down. And Frank is finding it out too. And
but isn't it? Sorry, go on.
Yeah, and it's like watching that Nottingham Forest game. If anyone watched it, every single time that Nottingham Forest striker, I was thinking, "Wow, if only Spurs had someone like him. If only he didn't do much, but he did enough. Van Romero couldn't know what to do with him. Winning headers, flicking ball, and then Spurs would hit the ball to Richarlison and he would lose it.
Yep,
like, great. That's the difference. So
you see, it bounced off his shin.
Yeah, people can say, "Oh, how he's going to do this," but Richarlison is being used, and there's a reason why Spurs have scored less goals than last season, because even last season, Solanke was up top, and Solanke might not have been banging them in, but he was good at holding up the ball or spraying it about.
Yep.
Richarlison is a tapping merchant. That's what he's good for. He's a tapping artist. Holding the ball up doesn't do. Running behind, he doesn't do. You have to have one of them. That Nottingham Forest centre back had the probably easiest time. He probably had to run around the pitch just to get warmed up.
So what is that on the coach then, that he keeps playing Richarlison?
But I think that's his only option.
Yeah,
I think that's the only option. And again, if you drop Richarlison, he goes into a huff. He goes into a little mood. You know what I mean? And then
can't you put Colo?
I think he could. He could.
Yeah, I do too.
Slap Tubby Tell there, man. You got options.
Yes.
There's other players.
But you're absolutely right. But there's something about Richarlison. Conte played him. Angie played him, and they all bigged him up. I don't know what he does.
Conte didn't like him.
Yeah,
he didn't like him, but he still, he never
played him. He tried hard to play him.
Fair enough. But like, it's just you're looking at that, and it's like, right, you have to drop. Just put Richarlison to the bench, but then again, whatever. It's just,
I think that's the problem, Oren. Is like he's trying different things all the time, but nothing seems to work, and it's because he can't. Look, for the first time against Forest, he actually played the same team that won a game of football the previous game. A good game of football. He played the exact same team. Right?
And he gets slapped up.
The same players literally gave a completely different performance. And it's not what you said, Oren. It's like they literally came out and didn't want to play. Whereas in the Brentford game, they gave it everything. And that's the problem, is these players, they don't want to do that every single game. And if you don't do that in the Premier League...
Doesn't that come down to the manager, though?
No.
He's not motivating the players to...
It's like saying
in a job, it's his old team. Like, I don't really rate the Brentford win that much, because especially where it's come here, where like all these losses is kind of just coming between your old club. You know a lot of these players, etc., and they played kind of exactly into your hands. That sort of, I can't really rate it. It's like the kind of slot of your problem.
No, but what I'm trying to say, the motivating of the team, isn't it down to the manager?
Yeah,
because for me, if the players are not performing, or if the players are not getting fired up for a game, it's the manager.
But that's like if you go into a job and you have a manager, he will go, right, let's get the day started, right? But it's up to you as the worker to be fired up. There's nothing.
I disagree.
You can take the horse to the water.
Can I be real? I work in the corporate world, and my manager is what makes me. No, let me be honest with you. My manager is what makes me want to do more work. And like, I in fact, let me be honest with you. I've never used to be like this, I managed to get myself into a good type of job, and I'm holding it down for a long while. You know, if it wasn't for my manager, I don't think I would be here. Let me be honest with you. So it's your manager that motivates you. It's your manager that.
But you're also there. You're also there because you're getting paid. You're not going.
Not just that, Oren. He also, if just because the manager tells him how to motivate him, he's still got to be the one to do the work and do it in the way that the manager's advising.
I agree.
If he doesn't do it, that's your fault. That's not. So it's the same thing for the players, right? You can. It's like we're expecting the manager to basically act like little kids and go to the pitch and hold their hand and say, Come on, lads. Let's play well. Let's do that. Come on, they're grown. They're fully grown men, right? You don't need someone to hold your hand and tell you how to put 100% effort in. Like when I used to play football, I didn't need no manager to tell me like give it your all. I gave it my all every single time I played on the football pitch, right? And that was it. So if it's
cold, I would.
You could, mate. I always did.
That's the thing.
I always did. No matter.
You're right. If it was cold, no
just
matter how much
a person, right? On a football pitch, I was different. But like, if the players, if the manager, I mean, I can't imagine Frank going into the change room saying, "Do you know what, lads? I want you to go out there, stand around, don't put effort in, and just don't do anything." Right? I can't imagine it. It's not possible. And you can see Frank in the press conferences.
What are you gonna do? Like, that's kind of what it comes down
The problem is, R1, right? How many times have we seen this over different managers over the years where the players keep coming out and saying, "Oh, we don't like the manager, we don't like the training, we don't like." Do you know why? Because the fucking culture at this football club is a disgrace, right? It is disgusting. And until the culture changes, which is why they need to give a manager a chance to actually change the culture. And the last person who did that was Pochettino. And look what the club did to him when he wanted to rebuild, when he knew the team was about to go on a downward spiral. And what did they do?
You can apply that to Andrew as well.
Did those managers actually change the culture, or did they just mask over it for a period of time? Because what always happens with this football club, the culture always comes back and bites us in the bum.
Yeah, mask. Spurs.
He changed it to the point. He changed it to the point as much as he could, right? But when push come to shove, the club didn't want to push the boat out to go and get the players that he needed to take us to the next level. Yeah, but
he had a squad there and then. But if you got to remember, the players that again came in afterwards didn't live up to that culture because the culture wasn't really there. That was just a set team that he had.
The thing is, Marlon, we didn't get enough players. We all knew this. We went 2 years without. We were in.
That's part of the culture of the club.
Yeah, we're going.
That goes back to the culture.
But it's not nothing to do with the manager. Manager can't change the culture. It's actually the people around the club that need to change the culture.
But the manager is the main person to change the culture, right? He can change it. He can change it. Because all right, let me give you an example, Marlon. Right? Yeah. How did Arsenal change their culture? Right, where they were before 6 years ago, before Arteta took over? Where were they?
They had to change everything. So they've taken a period of time since Wenger left to change, but they already had that winning culture already in the club. So
they didn't have that. They didn't.
They just didn't have it. They didn't. They still had it. The problem was that they didn't want to give Unai Emery the time to get back to where they wanted to get to.
Yeah.
And that's where Vinay came in and went, "No, let's go get Arteta." Because the culture that Wenger had created was still there because people at the club were still there.
Right.
And that's the biggest difference.
But
Spurs have had ENIC and we're going to do ENIC now because they're there for 25 years. That is the culture at the club right now. It doesn't matter which manager comes in because as they said, Brentford have changed their manager. Nothing's changed. Because of the culture. Brighton have built themselves on a culture. So it's got nothing to do with the managers. It's to do with the way the club is being run behind the scenes that helps then what goes on the pitch as well. And people always go, "No, that's not the case. It's not this, that, and the other." But you can clearly see that Spurs under ENIC, everything keeps following the same cycle and the same pattern.
It was easy. That's to start from the top. I actually agree with that point. Yeah, that's a good point.
I would say
that's a really good point. Marlon, man, I don't really agree with you, man. But you're cooking.
But Danny's used Arsenal as a prime example. But the Wenger years and the culture of that, and it's had to change because it's what's the name? What's the guy's names? Kroenke. Since they took over, they had to create this culture in the club. So it's always slightly been there.
But when the Kroenkes were there, right, they weren't doing what Arteta wanted for the first couple of seasons, right? And what happened was, for 2 seasons, Arsenal finished 8th and 8th, right? The fans were in absolute disarray. They wanted Arteta gone. What did the club do? They end up the Stan Kroenke, was it Stan Kroenke's son or Stan Kroenke himself?
His son, yeah.
Yeah, the son basically came in with the Edu, right, at the time. They then said, no, we're not going to listen to the fans. We're going to listen to what Arteta's been saying, and we're going to completely back him. So they backed him, and then that all changed because then they started getting rid of all the They got rid of majority of the players in those 3 years, right? They got rid of nearly every single player from
But it took 3 of them to do this, though.
Wenger's squad, right?
Yeah.
They got rid of every single player except Saka. He's the last one standing from that. 24 different players are in that squad now, right? And that's because they stuck with it, they changed it, but it all came from everyone going in the right direction, right? And unless everyone goes in the right direction now at Spurs, nothing will change. And I've been saying this for like the last 15 years.
Right, yeah.
Do you think?
Everything you're saying is correct.
Okay, wait, can I just say something though? Can I just say something though?
I feel like Arteta's
Go
situation is sorry, my bro.
No, do your thing.
I feel like Arteta's situation is a bit different because I feel like he's the only manager I've ever seen to be given this amount of time to, in a way, not really, because I don't know what Arsenal's actual goals are. So let me not say what their goals are, but what I would feel like their goals are is to win a major. And I feel like Arteta ain't done that. So really and truly, what other manager's going to get 6 and 7 years to actually not achieve what you're supposed to achieve? So I feel like we can't really use Arteta as the benchmark. And then Arsenal are, if this has taken Arsenal 6 years to do, that's going to take us like 10, 11 years to do.
No, not necessarily. No, it's not that long. No, all it takes, mate, is for everyone to go in the right direction, right? And the people keep forgetting the context, right? So there's a lot of examples. Jurgen Klopp didn't do anything for 5 years. It took 5 years for him to build that team, and he did the same thing Arteta did. He got every single player out of that squad.
The Klopp one, I don't agree with either, bro. I'll be real. Klopp, season,
but
he was giving them stuff to hang on to. First season, 4th. Second season, Europa final. Third season, Champions League final. He was putting things on the table for them to say, all right, let me give
you. He was doing pot stuff. He was doing pot stuff, wasn't he?
But the difference is Liverpool's ambition was different to Spurs. So you'd expect them to be fighting at those positions, right? But they weren't getting over the line. But it took him 5 years to rebuild that squad completely. Until we started becoming the Liverpool that we all do in the last few years, where they're competing with Man United, Man City, win the Champions League, etc. Right? Aston Villa is another example. 6 years ago, in the Champions League final, Aston Villa were in the playoff final. Look at what's happened in 6 years to Aston Villa. Right? They've had go on, Oren.
Yeah, there's something that I've came to realize in all this, because we're talking about Enoch, we're talking about culture, which falls perfectly into it. When Poch came in and had the team, you have to remember that was after the Bale transfer, and they brought in all these players that didn't work for Spurs. He ripped them all up. Now, if you look at Poch's team, say the first season, they weren't superstars. He made them. They weren't there to be superstars. They were there to be footballers and work hard. Arteta, he came in, he did the same thing. They liked Pepe and all those players. No. We want hard-working players. If you look at the Arsenal team, Declan Rice, yes, he cost 100 million, but he was hard-working. Klopp, quality, the same thing, hard-working. Yes, quality's there, but he wants hard workers first.
Jordan Henderson.
Right? Jordan Henderson, Milner. These are hard workers. That's why Liverpool are struggling now, because they don't have hard workers. If you look at the Spurs team now, those players that have been bought or in, they're not hard workers.
Yeah.
They're not. It's like, oh, they've been bought for merchandise rights, or they've been bought to sell T-shirts or shirts or whatever. Odegaard, Hill, Colin Mawani, I have to give him Bible, because at least he was trying. I mean, he did some really good dribbles, but the other players were like, oh, look at that. Wow.
Yeah.
That's great. Wow, look at that. Guys, he's playing football. Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, we're also in the pitch. Can we help him? Nah, he's lost the ball. Oh, it's all right. Right? That's what it's like. And I said it a couple of seasons, like the 2 games, even if anyone followed the Instagram for Spurs, Tottenham Hotspur, if you're on Instagram or on Twitter,
Yeah.
those admins posting like they're wearing suits and all. And I'm like,
Yeah.
fucking hell, just stop that shit. Frank should just go to them and go, right, stop all that. You're football players. You're not
Agreed.
wearing Gucci or shirts. So when you set that mindset, because I don't support Man City, if any Man City fans are here, I've never seen Arsenal players coming in wearing their Gucci suits or their black suits. I've never seen that before. They're there to play football. You come in tracksuits. Yet these players
but this is where I have to contradict you now. You just said that Frank should come in and say to the team, to the whoever's, don't be wearing this, don't be.
No, the admins.
This is what I want you to wear. But then you're saying the Arsenal players know how to do that. It's Arteta that's telling them this is how I want you to be. Ain't this Frank's job to make sure that even though I hear it, some players are gonna be not up to their best, but then again, isn't this the point of the manager?
It comes down to motivation. I agree, man.
Yes, but I'm trying to say you can only
wake them up.
but that's what I'm saying.
Can't just be standing there. Wake the players up if you feel like they're not playing off. If you're not playing good, get off half time. Sometimes do stuff
like I said, but you understand.
I can't see.
But you don't understand the concept of players' mentality now. You cannot do that to players because now players will. If you look at even Pep, Alex Ferguson retired at the right time. Can you imagine Alex Ferguson managing players now? They'd be taking him to court over flipping mental abuse. How you talk to those players? And look at Angie. Angie stood up for those players. You're telling me that if Frank goes to Basuma, should Frank have to go to Basuma, who's a grown man, and tell him not to snort helium from a balloon? No, he shouldn't have to.
I feel like
if you're it's the same thing. These players aren't 16-year-old kids. They are adults. They're getting paid. No one, if your will, I wake up at 6:30 in the morning to go into work because my motivation is to get some money so I can pay my bills. These players have it cushy, and yet you know those.
You know what?
And it's
you
all
hit the nail on the head.
Mental health thing, right? It's like
can I add something?
Health. What about
Can I add something?
To travel?
Can I add something to what you're saying? You hit the nail on the head, didn't it? You said they haven't seen the struggle like us.
They have.
That's why they're acting like this, and it's true. A part of it is that, and a part of it is what R1 is saying, and a part of it is what DK is saying. Man, you know what? This is why I've been so quiet. Usually, I'm all on. Yeah, man. I want him gone and all it. Nah, man. I can't wrap my head around the mentality of this club. There's not a standard, you know, and for me, there's no standard. You know, sometimes you have to. There's a line to not be crossed. At Tottenham, all lines are crossed. We're talking about Basuma doing helium. Like,
doesn't care. He's still getting paid, by the way.
Where's the standard? And I only blame. See, this is where I kind of disagree with what DK was saying. Only based on, I feel like it's the top of the board, Enid. Our ownership is what caused all of this. You know, for me, it starts from the top and it trickles down. If it's not steady at the top, this is what you're going to expect. You're going to expect a standard like this. I don't see any other club. Look, like, and I agree, Frank is not the guy to be, like, to be honest with you, he for me, I get the same vibe. He's one of them soft teachers that you bully in the change room.
I don't think
that's what I get. That's what I get from him. I'll be so real.
Look what he's done to Basuma. He's he's basically taking him out of the squad. He's basically like he's not part of it anymore. Like that, a manager to do that, that's got to take balls, right? Like he's literally said, like, you're not in the squad anymore. You're done. Like he's done. He's not going to play for Spurs again. Like I guarantee.
And now DJ Spence as well is falling out with him.
The thing is,
that's another player.
The thing is, right? My only thing with Frank is that I don't know whether he's with Frank. Like it's whether or not the players respect him enough, right?
That's the whole point.
It's a hard thing. It's true. It's a hard thing. But the problem is, who are these players going to respect? Because, like, I've always been of the opinion that unless it changes within the board and the club, the mentality of where the club wants to be and who they are, then it doesn't change. And I think that's the biggest problem at Spurs right now is we don't have an identity. There's no identity across the whole club. We don't know how we want to play. We don't know what type of team we want to be. We don't know what we actually want. We don't know what the board wants.
No question. Side
Go on.
If you get slapped up by Liverpool, yeah, and I will fast forward in a little bit.
Yeah,
You get slapped up by Liverpool 5-0, yeah. What we saying? Because man's talking about culture, we're talking about standards. Is that acceptable?
But here's the thing.
But the thing is, Ash. The thing is, Ash.
Spurs
Right?
beat Liverpool.
The thing is, I know what you're saying, but do you think any other manager is going to come in right now and change anything with these players?
It depends on the opinion. Do you understand? Because
I genuinely do.
I look at Javi Hernandez.
So Javi Hernandez comes in and he plays tick-tack football, right? He looks at Sarr and he looks at Bergvall and he looks at the midfield of Bentancur and he's like, how am I going to play my football with these fucking pieces of shit in our team?
Exactly. And so for me, if you get but when we're talking about respect, Javi Hernandez has done it all in terms of as a player. You can't disrespect Javi Hernandez.
No, of course not.
First and foremost, he's a footballer. To get it, so he's done European, World Cup. He's won at Barcelona. He's basically got every medal and every trophy. No one can talk to it. Do you understand? Because them man there, they ain't piss on his shoe. Do you understand? So if he goes to the board now, the board have brought him in. All of a sudden in the window, he's gonna say, "Rah, I need a different midfield." Does Frank command that same kind of respect in the window from other clubs where people are looking at Frank and say, I want to play for Frank? Or is it like where you hear Javi Hernandez's name and say, Rah, you know what? I want to come and play for Javi. Do you understand? And then the quality, all of a sudden in the midfield, we no longer have Archie Gray. I know people love Archie Gray, but I'm just like, sorry, there's levels to this.
No, he's not good enough for Spurs.
Paulinho, I know they got fans, but I'm just saying, in that control room, when I was watching Wolves, their midfield was 10 times better than us. 10 times, bro. Anderson,
Ash,
physically on the ball. Physically.
Look at Forest.
Not off the ball, on the ball. Like, you couldn't get the ball.
I know, but even look at Forest.
The range of passing from Anderson alone, his ball carrying, his pressing, knowing when to press, when to step off.
Ash, Sangare, Morgan Gibbs-White, and Anderson, and then Douglas Luiz on the bench, spit all every single midfielder we have at our football club.
Yeah,
that's 17th in the league.
What I'm saying,
they'll walk into our team easy, man.
Easy,
man. We got some cuts of some players, man. Like,
man. Question: are you all saying that? You're all saying that, but would they then come here and produce the same crap that the player because the mentality of the club?
That's it. Absolutely spot on, Marlon.
The problem is, Marlon, right, is that the only way you can change it is if you give a manager time to change it. It doesn't matter who it is. I've of the opinion that I don't really care who the manager is until you've got someone who they're going to completely back and the club are going to come out and say, this is our guy. This is who we're going to back for the next couple of years. It's going to be a turbulent time, but we've got a vision of where we want to be, and that's what I want to see. But I don't see that, and I don't see where we go even if they sack Frank.
It's not even that hard. I'm telling you, you're getting a proper manager, like I just said. That's got all the accolades, yeah, of that level.
But it's
listen. Hold on.
Go on.
Are you telling me, yeah? And if this board is serious, we drop like 70 mil or 80 mil on a midfielder, and you've got Javi Hernandez at the helm. We can't get that over the line. I'm not talking about a Real Madrid or Barcelona player, but I'm saying the ones just outside of that. Because really, the Premier League has the most money. Spurs have money. It's not like we don't have money. We should be able to, outside of Bayern Munich and Dortmund, we should be going to Germany and just be bullying them. We should be going to Italy.
Bullying up Germany, bullying up Italy, bullying up all these countries.
Outside of, I don't know.
Yeah, but we went to Leipzig and got 60 million. We dropped 60 million on Xavi, and he's not turned over trees. So is it?
Yes.
So again, my question comes back to if you bring in as these 60, 70 million pound players, are they still going to turn up? And because this culture at Spurs is terrible.
Frank didn't want Xavi. Do you understand? Xavi was out. Remember, he meant to go to Chelsea. Do you understand? But because we never got our targets, we never got Eze, we never got Morgan Gibbs-White, that's where he landed on Xavi. Because remember, he weren't even starting them, he weren't playing them. And against this physical midfield, against Forest, you could just tell.
Yeah.
Copenhagen or Slavia Prague or even Brentford, the levels were different. Do you understand? And maybe going back to your point, you spoke about Paulinho, Bentancur. That might have been a little bit better because we've got more physical profiles in the central areas. But we just know on the ball, they're not good enough. They're too up and down, my brother.
Exactly.
One day they're good, the next day.
Which is why, Ash, they're average footballers.
Right then. So now I'm saying, brother, outside of the say Serie A now. All right, AC Milan. All right, cool. Fiorentina. All right, cool. Roma. All right, cool. There's so many clubs. If we just put test the waters and said, right, here's 50 million for your player. All right, here's 60 million. Here's 70 million. All right, wages. Boom. You know what I'm saying?
But it goes back to Marlon's point. It goes back to Marlon's point.
Archie Gray and Bergvall and Bentancur and Paulinho and think, fucking hell, what the hell was we doing with these midfielders? No wonder
it goes back to Marlon's point.
Huh?
They get signed and they perform the same way.
No, brother. No.
That's the thing. No,
I watch football. I'm telling you, I can see the quality of player.
Yeah, you can see a quality of a player, but those quality of players are playing in Italy. Those qualities of players are playing in Italy. They're playing in Italy. The Premiership is one of the hardest.
You see Bergvall, yeah? Put them man on loan. You get it?
Yeah, they need to.
They're not ready. I'm telling you.
But So
I agree with that.
But Burville, yes, okay, this might not be ready, but you're saying go to Italy where it's a slower, more technical league.
I'm just saying.
Buying a player, 80 million, bring him to the Premiership.
I'm saying Germany, Italy, Spain. There's players out there.
Yeah, but those leagues out there. Yeah, but those leagues.
I'm telling you, my brother.
Very, very few times as a player from those leagues have came and flourished in the Premiership.
Even outside, even in the Prem, we could say, look, there's a player we like in the Premiership, for example. Yeah.
Yeah, but that team is just going to go 100 million.
And then say, right, we've got Xavi Hernandez. I want this particular player from outside the top four. We're meant to be one of the big six. We can't get players from outside the big six.
Not in the big six.
Can't get the next
for a very long time, my friend.
That's the thing. Maybe those players. Yeah, I get that, but maybe those players
for a very long time.
The problem is
we need to stop classing ourselves as big six. That's frustrating.
No. I'm saying
we're not,
brother.
We're not the big six. We don't move like the big six. We don't move like the big six. Where is the standard, bro? Like, you know what? Look, let me be honest with you, yeah. I didn't want Ange sacked, and if it goes back down to that, I wanted Ange to have more time. But let me tell you, where's the standard, man? There's no standard.
Yeah, and Abramovich came and then man did the bullying thing with the money. Do you understand? When they went to get their knee shoes.
Tottenham's never done the bullying thing, man. What club have you woken up to that does that, man?
We don't. But you see what it is? Now's the perfect time to flex it, though, because we got a new hierarchy in that. So ain't now the time to start moving.
Now's the time to slap that P down.
Yes, look, you see, Ash, no one is saying what you're saying is incorrect. Yes, you could flash the cash, but the issue that Marlon has brought up, you can flash the cash in 80 million, but what if that player comes to Spurs and because of the Spurs culture of, I'm a Spurs player, I can play 3 good games and the fans will think I'm God, but then I can play 3 shit games and the fans will go, oh, it's okay.
That man, I got into your head, bro. I'm telling you.
No, but it's proven evidence. It's proven evidence.
Hold up, man, are rating Bergvall.
No, no. You see, I'm not rating Bergvall. No, you're getting it wrong. You're thinking I'm saying don't have those players. I'm saying right.
This is where I say the standard's gone out the window, man. You know what?
Hold on. Let's talk about Kudos for a second because I believe everyone is rating him. Everyone rating him as a signing.
Everyone's rating Kudos.
Right.
Why?
However, he
minimum Marlon.
No. But how up and down? Yeah, but how up and down is
why? Yeah, but fixed rate.
Yeah, but
that's what I'm moving now.
But he's
not the old Spurs no more.
But has he been brilliant?
Has he been brilliant? Kudos. That's the minimum level. But
has he been? Has he been brilliant? No, he's been up and down like a yo-yo.
The thing that people are forgetting, there's context to everything, right? Like we're going into uncharted territories right now because we now don't have Daniel Levy for the first time in 25 years. Yeah. So we've got no idea how the club's going to operate, right? So we've got a whole... And this is the thing, right?
I'm a bit worried a bit. But I'll be honest with you. At least I knew you can. I was leaving out in it, but now I'm scared because it's just going downhill. It's going downhill. I'm so scared. You don't understand, my bro. That's my biggest fear. You hit my fear. I want him out, and we're on. Oh, bro, I'm so scared. I don't know what Tottenham's gonna come to, because if it wasn't Daniel Levy, you know, this is where our standard. Take me off the screen, man, because I'm stressed. I'm stressed.
But the thing is, right? The thing is, like with like the club have come out and said they're going to do X, Y, and Z, right? And they've pumped money into the club. It looks like they're going to pump more money into the club. So the only thing is we have to wait and see what happens. Like by the end of January, look, we've got to basically wait until the summer, right? As well, we're going to see what they do in January, because January is always a hard market to buy players in, especially top players from the clubs who are their best players, right? Like it's going to be very hard. Like Semenyo, again, he'll probably go to one of the bigger clubs, right? So it'd be very hard to get someone like that. But there are players out there who can really improve our squad right now, who are very gettable, right? There's a lot of players out there. So what you'd expect them to do is you go and get 2 or 3 players if you can, maybe 2 permanent, 1 loan players, and then see what happens, and then see what they do, and then in the summer reassess.
Danny, let me ask you a question. Do you rate Donna? Do you rate Conor Gallagher? Do you rate him?
Yes.
Yeah. Do you think he's gettable?
Yes.
There's players out there that piss all over him. I'm telling you now. Piss all over him, bro.
Or like Manu Kone.
I'm telling you, brother. Man, we can't get these players.
Who?
It goes back to the question that I asked. The question I've always asked.
I'm going to do a transfer special, and I'm going to educate the fan base.
You can educate the fan base. But this is the question that I've always.
And we won't be talking about mentality.
Well, like Angela,
that's what I'm trying to say to you. I'm trying to say to you, that's what I'm trying to say. And I've been asking this question for years now. If you're a player with an elite mindset, are you going to go to Spurs? Or are you going to wait for the club to come?
No,
and you know what? If you're an actual player, you're risking everything to come to Spurs.
Ash is right. There's a lot of players out there.
Yes, there is a lot of players out there.
There is a lot of players.
You see the Dybala? Could we have got him? Could we have got Dybala?
Yeah, definitely.
100%. But think what he didn't come to us.
No, we're not.
Look at Dybala's career.
Who's in charge? Mourinho, top manager. Do you understand? Them man wanted Dybala and continue on the same window. Do you know how much people were worried? You know how much rival fans were going, nah, brother, I don't know how Tottenham are doing this.
But you think Frank can go to Dybala and say, come to Tottenham now?
Yeah, but they didn't have to because of the culture of the club.
That's the whole problem.
I'm saying there's players.
Come on, man.
Because of the culture of the club.
The thing is,
you know what? This is another thing I like about R1, yeah? He made it clear, innit? He's not that guy. I don't think he's that guy to pull people to Tottenham.
I've got to say something, right? Thomas Frank built a team, right, with really good attackers who, let's face it, Brentford's attack is far better than our attack was last season, right? And he took years. Yeah, what's that?
But did they play good football?
They played all right football. It was.
They didn't.
I never wanted Frank in the first place, right? I never wanted Frank in the first place. I never wanted. There's a lot of managers I didn't really want, to be honest with you. My main pick was Xavi Hernandez. That's what I actually wanted. But the thing is, even someone like him, is he going to want to come to Spurs, or is he going to want to go to a bigger club? He's managed Barcelona. I know he's managing in Saudi League, but is he going to want to come to Spurs? Like, in all seriousness? And in my opinion, you've got to remember something as well. Spurs paid nearly £20 million to get rid of Ange and bring in Frank and his coaching staff, right? They've literally revamped the whole management structure. They've revamped the whole coaching staff.
What is 20 million?
I know, Ash.
What is Ash doing?
Ash, you need to have more sick, man. You need to be sick more. I like this, Ash. He's on the ball. Look at him. Ash, you need to be more sick more often, man. I like this, Ash.
Yeah, I haven't seen this Ash like for a while.
No, this is what Tottenham's got to us.
Keep this Ash. I like this Ash.
But we're acting like 20 million big bucks. Oh, we got to pay the staff and that. You not listen to that bullshit.
He's holding the mic and all.
Pay the staff up.
So Ash, let me ask you a question, right? So essentially, what it sounds like we do need a revamp of the squad. That's the first thing. We all can probably agree with that. But the second point is you don't feel that Frank's the guy to do that revamp and build.
Listen. All right, look. You see, Frank here. It's a funny one because obviously he did the championship and he took Brentford up into the league. And the reason why he stayed in the league was through being pragmatic. At championship, it could be a bit more expensive because the level was lower. And then by the end of his term, he was trying to turn Brentford into 2.0, innit? So I wanted to see if that he could translate that into Spurs, innit? Like more possession based, but you need certain midfielders to do that. You know what I'm saying? He got
forwards
in, but he had, Yanel, Yarmolenko, he didn't really have those possession based. He had more like
transition players,
destroyers. Do you understand? He didn't really have players that were technical, that can hold on to the ball and move the ball around. So I kind of get so. He's not at a club where he's thinking, all right, cool. If they want to be a possession-based team, I know what type of midfielders I need to do that. So I'm not mad at it, but I'm just saying the level of player that Frank can attract compared to someone like Xavi Hernandez is night and day, bro. That's all I'm saying.
Of course.
That's what I want to rather play for. I'm seeing Jed Spence, like, his face, stinking up his face. Saying like, right, you look like you don't want to be here. See Mickey van der Ven against Chelsea throwing his top off and them things there. So I'm like,
I agree with that.
Guys are like, people want Xavi Hernandez because he might be too mean. Not too mean. What do they say? People saying, they don't want like another Conte in it where someone's a bit too disciplinary or whatever. Like, he might upset the players. I don't care. What do you mean the players? The players are trash. Yeah. We are evil right now. What are we doing? We are left, and we're not looking to move anytime soon. And I'm saying, I don't mind. If you're gonna back it, I always said I'm happy for the season. I am happy for the season. Give Frank the season. I don't mind in it. But if you've got managers out there that man can get, do you understand? And we're saying, we haven't got the money to get Xavi Hernandez. Why would you want to come in here? I'm saying money talks. You give him.
Of course it does.
Who would have thought we would have been able to get Mourinho? Who would have thought we would have been able to get Conte as a coach?
Yeah, but look at that turned out.
So I'm saying Xavi Hernandez.
Look at those two turned out.
Do you understand?
Look how those two turned out.
And he
obviously Conte Mourinho. They were sacked after what, one season?
Conte Mourinho, but like
months.
if you
18
we're
months.
talking about listen, you got
but we're talking about attracting them into the club though. However it worked out.
Attracting them.
Just move different. It's a new.
But that's the thing. Yeah, even if you
right then.
But do you not think, Ash, just in a hypothetical situation, right? Do you not think, say if Tottenham went out and Frank's the manager in January and went out and bought Semenyo, that automatically doesn't transform our attack already? When you've got Semenyo and Kudus on the wings, and then Xavi Simons in the middle.
Of course.
Not
Me,
Kudus.
I look at the midfield.
I don't know. Why do people rate Kudus so high? Why?
I think.
Please tell me.
It's just the best of what we got.
Kudus at the moment, right now, is the base. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He can improve.
He can improve.
We ain't seen it.
The problem is, Orion, with Kudus.
He needs coaching.
Sorry, go on, Ash.
No, I'm just saying he needs coaching, yeah? So he just knows when he drifts inside, he needs to do 1-2 touch, not too much dribbles. When he's hugging the touch line, just obviously that's when you could take more touches. But certain times, like, it's congested. So it's decision making. That's what he needs to work on.
Not just that. If you
developing, and I'm not saying Frank can't do that.
You're a tactical person, right? You do the analysis of the tactics and how we play. If you look at Kudus when he's on the ball, a lot of times he hasn't got players around him, right? So he has to try and do something, because what the players do is they give the ball to Kudus and say, go on, mate, go and do your thing. They don't give him the support. He looks up and looks around and the players are not there, right?
I would have to kind of...
That's also down to the players,
because against Nottingham Forest, Xavi passing the ball made a run. Kudus decided to keep his head down.
Oh yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Liverpool did the same thing. Yeah. So I understand, yes, what you're saying, but I think what players have worked out is that if they give the ball to Kudus, more than likely he's going to dribble with it. So we're not. What's the point of making runs? And I think there was a moment as well when Pero had the ball and he was saying to Kudus, "Make a run in behind." Pointed twice, and Kudus just looked at him and went, "Nah, it's too cold."
Yeah. Yeah.
Make that count. So it goes back to the original point that, Ash, I get what you're saying about the big manager bringing the top players in, but the culture of the club, what Marlon's been saying all along, is that if these players come in and go, it's only Spurs, I'll get a big wage.
Yeah.
I can play.
You have to
That's
change
that's
it
what
now.
made
New
that's what
ownership
made
now.
that's what made
Before
some.
we can blame Daniel Levy and say it's his fault. Now we got new people.
No,
saying that was
it's not Daniel Levy.
version.
I'm not saying that because
Whether it
no,
was
I'm
or it
not saying
wasn't,
that.
just say
No,
it was.
listen, hear me what I'm saying. The two best players that I can say in the last 10 years, Harry Kane and Son Heung-min.
Yeah.
Would you agree with that? The two best players?
Yeah.
Now, Harry Kane, his mentality was work hard, get better.
Yeah.
This is Spurs. I really enjoy Spurs. Players have came into Spurs, seen it as Spurs, and go, it's Spurs. I'll play good for 2 seasons. And Ndombele, perfect example. 60 million, come in. Not going to give him I don't care. I'm bigger than the club. So that's the issue is with when I look at those players, there's too many of those players who know that they can get away with not playing good. Because I look at the training videos, they're laughing, they're high-fiving,
Yeah.
they're signing signatures.
I agree. I hate them.
And it's not, and I'm not saying it's a Spurs thing. I think it's a footballing thing because of the whole mental health and all this.
But can I
Players
just add
get-
something to what you're saying? But then we went down the other route and we brought in players like Aldebaer, Teletubby Tell,
Well, you know what?
Archie Gray. Them guys are meant to be the ones that are going to be.
Yeah, he does
going to
try.
be up and
He
coming.
does try. No, Teletubby Tell, he comes on, he does try.
He's just not good enough right now.
Yeah. So basically, I understand buying players who are young who are going to try, but I'm talking about what has the Nottingham Forest game, Vicario, who's meant to be the experienced goalkeeper, once again, let that team down. And every time Spurs have lost, it's the experienced players who aren't stepping up.
Exactly that.
Yes, people say Bergville is rubbish, Archie Gray is rubbish. They're 19 years old. Let them make mistakes because they can learn. And it was really interesting before I came on and watched Jimmy Carragher. He says, everyone's going to have a go at young Archie Gray for this goal, but I blame Vicario. When the ball went back, Vicario had two opportunities. Hit the ball up the pitch or pass to Van de Ven. Go back and watch it, please. Pass to Van de Ven. No, you see, that's the thing. It's so lazy. It's so lazy all the time going, right, what I've noticed is when players that fans like or criticize, like Bentancur or Vicario, it's like, oh, it's Frank's tactics. No, I get it. Use your flipping common sense. I'm a football, I've never played football. I've played goalkeeper before. If the ball comes back to me, I'm smacking that ball up the pitch. I'm using my common sense, and that's the problem. Spurs players, these players hide too much behind managers and tactics. They hide under Mourinho, Conte, even last year under Ange. Paul Merson said these players are hiding behind managers.
Pattern about 40 times a game. I see Benton do this exact thing.
Trust me. Talk on it.
Right. Hands it upfield. So what? Look at that fat gap, bro. You can fit a bus in between that gap between the players.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
That was before the goal, you know. And Archie Gray's done this pattern of play. Do you understand? So it's not even like it was the first time they've done it, and they've played it successfully out of the back. No problems. It's a pattern of play.
Yes,
it's work on in the training ground.
But that's the one that worked.
That's the one that worked. I'm talking about the one that didn't work.
It's Gray's fault that it didn't work.
No, it's not Gray's fault. It's the goalkeeper's fault because the goalkeeper passed it on his wrong foot.
Right.
See the fact that you're blaming.
Look at this. Look at this.
Go back.
Check your shoulders.
It's just go back before that. Go back before that and let me explain. Go back before it, let me explain. No, go back before, let me explain. Go back before that. Go back before then. Let me explain. I'll explain. No, you're pointing at the same thing. Right. There you go. No, go back all the way back.
No way he should be playing that past the Gray.
He shouldn't be playing that past the Gray. He's on his weaker foot. Let me flip and explain. Let me explain. Shut the fuck up. Let me explain. Right? Because you're talking over me, and I just want to explain. Vicario gets the ball. He's a right-footed player. He gets the ball. He has time. He can pass it to Van de Ven, who's on the left, to his path. Right. Vicario takes a touch with his strong foot and passes with his weaker foot. He scuffs the pass. It then goes on to Archie Gray's weaker foot, which is his left. Archie Gray looks because his first intention is to do a first pass to Romero. Vicario should not have made that pass. That's a suicide pass. It doesn't matter what team, no matter how good your keeper. We've seen so many teams who have made that suicide pass.
Season, Vicario.
So Ash, actually, look on this one because you can see here. Look how close. Who's the player who takes it from him?
Sangare.
Look how close he is to him in this picture compared to the other one where there's a bigger gap. Now Vicario sees this, and that's a goalkeeper, yeah. And this is why I'm looking at it as a goalkeeper. If I'm seeing that space between Gray and Thing, and I don't
passing to him.
Yeah. Isn't that the tactic to draw?
And look,
you're still doing the tactics. Stop saying tactics. It's common sense.
It's a tactic, though. They do it 40 times a game.
It's common sense. There's two players to the left of him. There's Van de Ven and Spence. He can pass to.
But he does this.
You keep on saying the tactics. If your manager tells you to jump off a bridge, do you go and do it? No. It's flip me. Use your common sense.
Oren, one sec. With this scenario, okay, you have to look at it. It's the tactics that he wants them to play. However, in certain situations, you know you can't play that. If you're a better thinking player, do you reckon Harry Kane every time played to the manager's tactics or went, actually, I'm going to play this ball over there because actually he's small shot. I can clearly see I can't go that way to Son because he's got.
That goes back down to DK's point. DK's original points. And listen, this is why I'm very quiet. Like, I'm loving this show. He said the players are just not good enough. Vicario, for me, is not good enough. And we've already established that Archie Gray is not good enough. What do you expect? You can't expect nothing more.
You're gonna get.
You expect this.
You're gonna get mistakes from them, innit?
You are gonna get.
No, but you expect this. No, but my point is this: where is the standard? It goes back down to the standard. TJ. Where is the standard?
It's funny, TJ.
Shit.
I saw on Twitter today. Yeah, I saw on Twitter a compilation someone did of Vicario and how we've conceded exactly similar goals like this. 4 goals this season we've conceded where Vicario has done a stupid pass, right? Or come out his box and done a stupid mistake and then blaming other people for it, and we've conceded a goal. He's done it 4 times, and it's insane that he keeps doing it. The same mistake. He's not learning from it, right? Do you know? He does, right? But
I'm not having funny.
Right. Just one other thing for this Vicario thing, right? For me, right? There's two faults here, right? So the first fault is Archie Gray as a midfielder. What he should have done is you're scanning around your area. You're scanning your zones. So you should be seeing who's coming up against you, right? Or who's behind you, who's near you. Correct. He didn't look back, right? And the bad thing with him was that he took the touch, right? He could have played it first time, right? But he didn't know someone was there, so he took a touch. But right, so there's a blame on both of them. There's a blame on, I haven't finished. Let me finish the point. There's a blame on both of them because at the end of the day, the guy who's more culpable for blame is Vicario, because Vicario should not be playing that ball into Archie Gray, because as the goalkeeper, he has got the vision of the pitch in front of him.
You see everything. I agree with that.
The whole point is what had happened there is the whole point of the tactic. So whatever he was told to do, that is meant to happen.
Yeah, but if you go back to the previous picture,
I don't understand. You're just missing the point. You can't just always be blaming the tactics.
One second. Let's look at this situation, right? If you go to the one where it worked, Van de Ven and Vicario were free. But in this picture, look how many Forest players are swarming onto Archie Gray. Can't play that anywhere.
Yes, he can't.
He can't.
Even if he controls it, he's getting
even if he checks his mirrors, he's still not be able to play that pass.
With his right foot.
It's a dangerous ball in a dangerous position.
Wait. Watch this now. You know he asked for the ball. Do you know that? Do you know he asked for it?
Yeah, he asked for the ball.
Because he's offering.
What happens?
Playing him that ball.
Who's the senior player?
Give me the ball. And he forgot Sangare was there.
Who's the senior player who can see what's happening in front of him?
Yeah, he can see.
No. If you watch Ash, if you watch the video highlight, Vicario he's standing there and he looks so nervous when he's got the ball at his feet. He just wants to get rid of it. And what did he do? He passed it to the closest player who's to him in a Tottenham shirt.
That's
And
the point.
the worst pass he could have made.
I'm not playing you that ball.
It's the worst pass he could have made. He should never have done that.
And he's done it with his weaker foot.
I'm not playing.
When that was live, I saw that happening before it even happened. I saw it happening before it even happened.
See, look, can I be honest with you? I'm going to be honest with you. In my opinion, it's both players' fault. You know, Vicario should take most of the blame because you're the one that's seeing everything. There's no excuse for you to just boot it forward. You know, Archie Gray, you called for it.
Yeah,
he's not good enough.
But that's the thing. Archie Gray is at least trying to get on the ball to help his teammate out.
Yeah.
And him being a senior player, but it's not Vicario. The Vicario makes a pass with his left foot, which is not his strongest foot, which passes it to Archie's left foot, which is not his stronger foot. Even if it was perfect, the Nottingham Forest player would have taken that ball off him anyway. And Vicario's done this before. He did it to Spence. He did it to
Can I just add something crazy as well?
That pass as a goalkeeper.
I was on Twitter the other day and I saw a stat. I don't know if this is factual. 75% of our goals. I don't know how true this is, and I don't know how they come up with this nonsense. But 75% of the goals that we concede comes from Vicario's fault.
No, it's not, man.
Which
it's a lie, but
look, that's not a stat that I'm. Look, I just saw it on Twitter, and then I saw bare people saying, "Yo, bro, we need a new goalkeeper." Let me be so real. He makes so many mistakes week in, week out, and I keep hearing him say sorry for the same shit. You know what? It's gonna get to the point where. Look, your goalkeeper is meant to be the heart of your team, in my opinion. Your goalkeeper is actually meant to be the main piece. If you have a nervous goalkeeper, what do you think our defender's going to feel?
I hear that. For me, I'm just saying, look, when Pap Sarr made that mistake playing out from the back against PSG, innit? I wanted to hear the same energy for Vicario then.
I said it for that goal as well.
Bear man were on Sarr's neck.
Huh? It was Vicario.
I agreed with you.
I said it was you don't play that silly pass. That's a lazy pass.
Exactly.
That's putting your teammate under pressure.
Exactly, Oren. That's exact. As a senior player, he should not be putting more pressure on the players when you've got other players around you. You shouldn't do that.
Can I go back to a game last season? Does everybody remember when we played Crystal Palace away last year?
Didn't even want that. This guy came flying from the halfway line for the ball and fucked it up.
You're missing the point. You're missing the point. He sees Archie Gray looks at Vicario and sees him in trouble. He's going to offer. But what we're saying is Vicario had enough time. Go back and watch it. Go and watch Sky Sports.
He could have smashed it out.
He looked up.
That's what I said. He could beat it.
Yeah, he rushed it. He panicked. He could have passed it to him. He could have passed it to
you know.
This is a scene.
And I make it clear.
When that ball, it comes back to us.
No, I'll make it clear. Vicario is now turning into the goalkeeper that I don't want in the back of my net. He's a liability. And I'm sorry. I've literally, can I be so real with you, yeah? We talk about Vicario so often that I'm actually saying, for me, he needs to be dropped. Like we talk about Richarlison, I actually think he needs to be dropped. You know why? Because look, and a lot of people are not going to like it, but we don't have no good goalkeepers. But I want to give a run out in Kingsley because he's better with his feet.
Yeah, but he's not good at the other stuff that Vicario is good at, and that's just back to square one.
But you know what? Look, then we need to really rethink what we're going to do in the January window, and I think we need a goalkeeper because for me, I'm sick and tired of us conceding so many goals. And you know, this is not even the first time I'm talking about Vicario. Under Ange, it was a crossing nonsense. He couldn't go for the crosses. It's always a liability with this goalkeeper. I'm sorry. I've had enough.
Rubbish.
You know, if I carry on talking about this goalkeeper, I'm a broken record. I'm sorry. I can't lie to you. I don't support him.
Yeah, but the problem you got is that he's the best goalkeeper at the club. And that's the biggest problem and that's a big problem. Because where's the standard? Go back to Newcastle game in the cup. Kingsley comes and tries to punch it. And that's it. Makes a mistake straight away. So there's bits and pieces.
Bro, we are shit, man.
We're stuck at the moment.
This is why I can't watch Tottenham after half time. Yeah, I can't. It's so shit. It's shit football. It's shit. You know what? You know when I talk to my boys in work, all of them Arsenal, I get a double whammy. I get a double whammy.
It's the pressure. It's like these players can't deal with
Yeah,
the pressure.
And you know what, Marlon? You know, can I be real? Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I've been dodging trying to jump on the shows. Everybody been trying to add me onto it. Dan, bro, listen. I've said 101 lies. I'm not a liar, but this team has made me a liar. You know, big up Has, innit? I need to just say this, innit? Bro, I can't lie to you. Our Friday show.
I want to see the second goal.
It's deadly, man.
You were saying something before, right? Just a minute ago. You were saying about how the players can't play under pressure, right? Isn't that something that Conte said like years ago? He said these players don't want to play under pressure. Why? Because this is the culture of this football club. There's no accountability. That's the problem.
So this goes back to my whole point. No matter who you sign,
they're
going to come in and they're going to end up having the culture.
No. I'm not having it. I'm not having it. Who is out there? Brother, you're saying that man's a baller. All of a sudden, I come to Tottenham. Do you know what I'm saying?
He drops his standards.
Blind.
Because he knows they can. That's what I'm saying. That's what he's trying to say. A player who comes to Spurs, they know they can drop their standards and know they can carry on playing. If you go to Chelsea, if you go to Man City or whatever, you drop your standards,
you're out. Someone else plays, yeah. You got a better player who can play as well.
Come to Spurs, and you know you're the big dog. You know you can drop your standards. And then you know it's not going to be your fault. It's going to be the manager's fault. It's going to be tactics.
Kudos is a prime example of that right now. Kudos is the exact prime example of how you bring in a good player. He doesn't have to play well every week, but he's there in the starting lineup.
And do you know why? Do you know why, Marlon? It's because we don't have people who can compete for their...
Exactly.
And that goes down to the quality of the squad. If two players of quality in position...
Now we're talking about quality of the squad.
If we have two players in each position who are quality, then you're looking at these players. They're like, if I don't play well, that guy is going to take my place. At the moment, these players, they've got no accountability because they know that if they play shit, there's no one else who can play because they're the better players who we've got at the moment.
The problem we have, can we trust Frank? That's the problem.
That's the biggest question.
That's the problem. And you know what? Can I be honest with you? I've been hearing Javi, and I rate that manager choice. Look, I was one to say I didn't want Frank, and I make it clear all the time when I talk about him. Even though I haven't said Frank out, I'm actually still giving him time. You know, I don't know why. I actually don't know why. There's no logical reason for me to give him time. Realistically, I should be Frank out. And generally, it bamboozles me every single time I talk about it.
Watching Vendigo get turned in and out like a fucking pizza was funny.
Quick stat.
Oh my word!
On the Frank business. Okay, and I know we're not meant to talk about Ange at all.
Yeah.
But at this point last season, okay, we had 23 points.
Yeah.
With 1-7, drawn 2, lost 7, scored 36, 19. Right? We're a point worse off now this season.
Less goals.
And it's 6-4-6. Okay. We've scored less.
11 goals.
And we've conceded more.
Yeah.
So have we trusted the wrong guy? Because Ange wasn't it, but have we now just trusted the wrong guy? Is the question.
I think it's too.
Let me be real. Look, I'll be so honest with you.
It's the same squad without Son, by the way.
For me, we have taken a sideways step at best. Because look, although I wanted to give Ange time, hear me out, it was only sentimental values for the cup. Realistically, he needed to go. No, he actually needed to go.
He had injuries
Frank,
as well by this point.
in my opinion, is not the caliber of manager that we needed. For me, I wanted Glasner, but I don't know. Look, can I be honest with you?
Glasner plays low block, plays shit football as well.
Yeah. Glasner's not the one.
Yeah, and I know that. Look, and I know that. But look,
can I not get on board Glasner?
No, I know that. But can I be honest with you? I didn't want Conte gone. Personally, I never said Conte out. I never said Conte out. I don't mind playing bad football. Hear me out.
We're playing bad football. I
want us to do the basics, not what we're seeing on the pitch right now. We're not even attacking. And see, for me, this is the one major thing.
We weren't attacking under Conte, and that was tactics.
Exactly. But the fans don't like the style. The fans don't like us playing defensive.
TJ, that people keep forgetting, right, is that Son and Kane carried us for years and papered over the cracks, right? They carried us for years. And as soon as them two eventually left, now we're seeing exactly what Spurs have always been without those players, right? Because I guarantee you, if Son and Kane in their prime were in this team right now, we'd be challenging for the league title right now. I'm not even joking. Because we're not even that. If you look at the points, right, we're only 4 points off 5th place right now. 4 points. And then we're 4 points off 17th. That's how close it is. It's nuts. The league also this season, every team has been inconsistent.
I disagree with that. Not under the football we're playing right now. I don't think we're challenging. I think we will have the same results as like how we're seeing it on the pitch.
No,
not with Harry Kane and Son. No chance.
There's no way.
You know what? Look, it's so.
How are they going to score?
That's exactly. I agree with R1. We don't. We actually struggle to create chances.
Kane and Son are the most prolific strikers in Europe at the time.
I know this.
The only player who converted more shots and goals than Son in Europe for 5 seasons was Haaland. That was it. Son was the most prolific striker in terms of goals to shot ratio.
I'm not saying them players are not bad.
More
in this system,
compared to the shots he had.
I'm not saying them players are bad.
With this team right now,
you know, R1's right. R1 is right in this argument.
If we cannot get the ball to them, that's the problem right now. The XG is so low. We can't get the ball. We've done 3 through balls all season, my boy. 3.
Yeah, because there's nobody making runs in behind. Okay.
There's that.
R1. Name one Spurs player in that lineup who can make runs in behind.
None of them.
None of them. You want to know
the one player? Be Johnson, man.
The one player who can, Brendan Johnson. That's the only player who can make runs in behind.
Sure.
Running behind, but.
So basically, you're saying so with Kane and Song was so good because Song in their prime was able to run in behind. Kane was able to drop deep and find him.
Yeah,
those two can run games by themselves.
Easily,
right? They lifted the players above them.
Yeah,
that's changed now. Richarlison's leading the line. He's not there to lift anyone other than himself, and that's just him. I'm not slating Richarlison. That's who he is. He's always been that player. He doesn't make runs in behind. He can't hold the ball up. Even when he gets the ball to his feet, he'll find a way to mess it up.
It will dive on the floor as well.
Yeah, so basically, when you're a creative player, you're like, what's the point?
Then at the same time,
exactly.
You lot was talking like, but at the same time, you lot was saying about this whole like who makes runs in behind, and then the players that we're missing now had all this XG yesterday, but we didn't have players that running behind then either.
But we did
last season with all this 80 XG that
Solanke can make runs in behind if he wanted to.
We had Son, Kane,
and the issue with that is because when Spurs had players who could do that, they didn't have the midfield players who can make the pass to make that. But now they have the midfield players exactly can make. What's happened?
Is that real?
It looks like it.
Yep. What?
Listen, can I be so real in it? I would jump ship as well.
What's this about?
Van de Ven.
Who is it? Shari posted that. Is that? I haven't seen that. Is that actually true?
Yeah, it's just been posted.
What's been posted? I don't know what you're talking about.
This is
what's posted.
Posted. Some people jump ship without realizing the ocean's deeper than they thought.
Who said that?
Javi Simmons.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But he's tied down to a long deal. It's impossible to get out now.
He hasn't posted on Instagram. That's not real. I've just checked his Instagram now. He's not posted that.
Nah, it's on somewhere else apparently, on some other thing. It's on something else. I don't know what it was.
That's an Instagram story.
Can I be honest with you? Look, he signed such a long deal. He signed such a long deal, innit? I'll be honest with you. He's not. There's no way we're looking to cash him in. And even if he try to get out, you know what? The teams are gonna have to pay for him. So I'm not really too. Look, even if he wants to jump ship.
No, Xavi doesn't want to. He's here to work. Like, yes, he didn't play well against Nottingham Forest, but he was still trying to work.
Say there's bigger problems at the club than we realised, maybe.
Yeah, he realised it's going to be because he had players who made runs for him. And again, like, you look at that front three, apart from Colomani.
This January window is going to be really interesting. Let me be so honest with you. We actually need to address our major issues. Otherwise,
what is the major issue?
We need a winger.
Do
in my opinion.
I think I need striker.
I think we need a midfielder to control
Because
the
Solanke
game.
doesn't look like he's going back anytime
I'm
soon.
with Reese. We need a midfielder. We need two. What we need, right? Really, realistically, right? We need another. We need two left wingers. Really, to be honest, we need two number 8s. We need another defensive midfielder. We need another striker, and we need a left back, an actual left back. Because Udogie, he plays one game and gets injured for 3 months. So we never see him.
And he's shit as well.
Yeah, and I don't think he's that good as well. I agree with
But
you.
realistically, let's be honest with you. We're not going to get more than 2 signings. You know.
Probably not.
You know what? If we're going to be honest, then we will get 2, but 3 at best. And that's me saying, yeah, I'm optimistic.
Our biggest problem right now is you've got. I would probably say it's probably the striker and the central midfielder, because we just can't. Our midfield. If you look at Aston Villa's, like even Nottingham Forest, we all sat here and said Nottingham Forest midfield is all better than ours. So the fact that we've got Nottingham Forest midfield better than a team that's in the Champions League, right, says it all, right? It's like we need midfielders. We need like 2 midfielders who can control the game, because the problem is the ones that we got, they do a little of something, but not enough of everything. That's the problem.
That's what we do.
And that's the problem. They're crap. They're really crap. So, and the fact that we went into a Champions League season with Archie Gray, Pape Sarr, Bergval, Bentancur, and Pauline as our midfielders is disgraceful.
But can I just say one thing though? Does this not come back a little bit to Frank? Because when you look at
we get it. We get it. Everything is Frank's fault. We get it. No matter what happens, you're gonna blame Frank. When hurricane happens, it's Frank's fault.
I've got another one. So with this year, because it don't really seem like when I've watched his teams over the years, it don't really look like he plays centrally anyway. So even if we get a good midfielder and a good striker, he just still wants to play to the wings. So what real effect is these players that I feel that we need?
That's why I'm saying, personally,
here's the thing.
If we're building in Frank's image, we need wingers. I think the most important thing for us to tackle, and if it's going to be 2 players, I need 2 wingers. And it might sound crazy. It might sound crazy that I say that.
How do you get the ball to the wingers if you haven't got players who can get the ball to the wingers?
Here's the thing as well, that, and I think Ash is showing this, right?
True.
And this is what I noticed with Nottingham Forest and any team that plays against Spurs, other than Spurs, apart from when Spurs are like winning and everything's going good, there's no talking to each other.
Yes.
There's nobody go in.
Facts.
Like Bentancur should see Archie Gray and go, man on Archie, or none of that. No talking to each other.
Yep.
Ash is showing the thing, and he shows Anderson pointing right. I'm going to mark him. You press over there. There's no talking.
Do you know what, Orin? It's funny you mentioned that, because when I was at the Brentford game, right, I was sitting with Ben from We Are Tottenham TV. I sit with him, and I was saying to him, "Do you know what I noticed? The biggest thing about that game in the stadium is that you could see the players communicating with each other, and I hadn't seen that all season. And that's why we played the way we did, because they were all in sync with what they needed to do in that game. And now, and again, against Nottingham Forest, it was like individuals were trying to play individually and trying to do things by themselves rather than playing like a team, a cohesive team. And that's the problem, right? So it's like there's so many problems at this club, but I think the first thing we have to tackle, look, for me, I also with you, R1, man, I'm not sure if Frank is the guy, because we don't see any patterns of play, right? But I do believe if we get better quality, he will be performing a lot better. But is it the level of what we want as Spurs fans to see? And I don't think he can take us to where we all want us to be.
But again,
that's what I think.
I get that, but the quality of a player, I think, has to be about the mentality as well. Because
I agree.
Gray passes Morgan Gibbs-White off. Gray's doing the footballer thing, right? Going to Bentancur. Look at Bentancur. He's not even looking at him. So there's a communication. No matter how good you are, like if you look at the great Barcelona teams, they had players who can communicate, right? You run there. As soon as Messi get the ball, I'm on his bike. Man City. You look at all the great teams. Even even against Nottingham Forest, it's communication, talk to each other, and work for each other. That is not happening.
Can I also add this?
We can all see this about Bentancur, yeah. This is again. I don't want to blame no one here, but I'm just saying, if we can all see this about Bentancur, how long does it take for the manager of our club
so
to be able
I'll caveat that, Reece, R1, right? Who else has he got to play?
Somebody.
Who?
Honestly, someone.
Who? Archie Gray?
Somebody.
Berg?
Somebody. I'm not.
But you know
gonna
what?
Be better. I'm not.
But I know. But you
He
you,
has no one
you
else to
can't
play.
say
He got them wrong. That should have been Polina, and he should have played Bentancur in the Champions League and played Polina
Yeah,
in
there
that
you go.
position.
Or if you look at the statistics this season, when we've conceded the least amount of goals, when we were after 10 was it 10 games, we were third best defense in the league. Why? Because Pauline and Bentancur pretty much started majority of those games, right?
But they weren't scoring goals.
If you actually look at the game,
but the funny thing is, we were the fourth highest scorer in the league.
Didn't start. Everton, I don't think. I think when we was.
That's the funny thing. Like, people don't want to look at the stats, and I know Ash loves the stats as well. Like, we were the fourth highest scorers in the league. Only Arsenal, Man City, and I think it was it Brighton or was it Liverpool? No, not Liverpool. There was another team, I can't remember who it was now, who scored more goals than us at that point after 10 games. Right? So it's not like it's
but wasn't those goals through set pieces though?
A lot of them were. Yeah, a lot of them were. But let's be honest, right? Arsenal sit in top of the league. How many goals from open play have they scored this season?
Yeah, but they have a certain Mr. Declan Rice who charges around like a headless chicken.
Can I also add that into this whole conversation?
But what I'm saying is there's so many inconsistencies. Go on, TJ, go on.
No, go for it. I would have held that last point.
There's so many inconsistencies with a lot of the teams. I don't think not one Premier League team this season is playing good football. I don't think any of them are. I think anyone can beat anyone, even more so this season than we've seen in a long time. And I think that's because the level of the Premier League is nowhere near where it has been over the last sort of 5 years. I think the two teams that stand out more than anyone else right now are Arsenal and Man City, because they have got the best squads. And behind them is Chelsea, because again, they've got the biggest squads, right? But other than that, Liverpool have just dropped.
3-4.
I might put Villa up there as well.
Villa as well, right?
Yeah.
Like that, because Villa over the last 3 years have had a manager where they followed a plan, right? And rather than bringing in kids like we did over the last few years, they brought in seasoned professionals, right? People with experience in the Premier League or an older age. And the players that they did who bring in who were young, like your Diabys, your Leon Baileys, they got rid of them. And
they brought in profile players as well that do stuff. Like, you can clearly pick out what certain players do.
Yeah,
but
also,
hey guys, I'm gonna have to shoot on. See you later.
Yeah,
right?
I can't lie to you, Marlon. I was just about to make that last comment and say I need to sleep in it because I've been out since 3 a.m. Can I just add something to this whole thing in it? You know what? It's interesting because DK, you said something about maybe 5 minutes ago that I thought was really. It reminded me of someone else, he made this claim when because I was against. Can I be so real in it? I was against Frank coming in from the get go in it. I'll be so honest with you. And we had Brian Daigle come on and he tried to convince me, and I just wasn't hearing it personally. But has actually said something really interesting to me, and I think maybe it could turn out to be the case. He doesn't think Frank is our final end manager. What I mean by this, because you know what, whether you take Levy as gospel, but Levy actually said a few things before he left. I want this club to challenge for the league, and I want us to challenge in the Champions League. Whether you think it's gospel or not, bro, that's for you, innit? I'm not saying it's gospel, but what Haz was saying, he's saying maybe this is just the stepping stone to the next manager, and I think it makes sense for us to go down a route where we bring in a manager like Frank, because obviously Frank has developed these players. And look, hear me out in it, because I'm a bit pissed off with the way Frank has done my club dirty. I'll be honest with you. I didn't want him in my club, but now I'm trying to support him. This is me crying. Has said to me that Frank is the type of manager to train up the players to a certain type, but I think the ultimate goal is Pochettino, because for me, this is what Has said, and he said to me, Poch left, whether you want to believe it or not, unfinished business, and the problems all started with Poch. Whether we think, because let's be real. None of the managers that's come after Poch has been successful apart from Ange. And from Ange, that was diabolical. But I could at least say I wanted to give Ange time, you know? Now we're in this new process of Frank. Is what it is, man. I'm too tired for all Tottenham.
TJ, just
TJ,
just before we let you go, I'm fed up hearing about this Ange thing, yeah? The way we won that cup, yeah, that Europa League, the last 2 games is the way we're playing right now. It's the way we're playing right now. So, this thing about
I agree, and I also said Frank wasn't good, and I also said Frank and Ange is not good managers.
When people say the football's crap, we're crap then, right?
100%.
We didn't see the fantastic football. He went to that side of football because he knew he was going, right? Even though I had a little birdie told me that Daniel Levy wanted to keep him, right? Okay. Right, so like as I said, right, I'm fed up hearing about Ange, right? Ange has proven that it was going to be a failure this season because look what he's doing what he did at Nottingham Forest. Yeah,
it's
and you're
fair.
not telling me Nottingham Forest are not a bad team. Yeah,
it's fair. And
110%. Nottingham Forest are not a bad team when they play.
Right
yeah,
now.
no, hold on.
That's all I've got to say. And that's it. Marlon, I know
no. Right, before you guys go in the Royal Rumble, I have to cut because I'm tired, innit?
No.
Listen, Mr. Box Office.
Later.
When you're next on, we can have a conversation. Come on, has his show. I love to debate you, man, but I've literally done a marathon right now, man.
No,
I'm tired, isn't it?
There's 2
man, it's nice to see you, by the way, and you're looking sharp as well. I see you get your hair cut.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. It's that's why. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The Ange conversation.
That's it. Anyway.
R1, love my bro. DK, Marlon, Ash. Love for that, man.
Just quickly on that whole Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest players could only play a certain brand of football.
Can you kick me out?
No, I don't know. Just click X, man.
I don't know what to do. There's no leave button.
Right, you're good. With Nottingham Forest, okay, there was only certain type of managers that could have gone in there and done exactly what Nuno had done, and it had to be a defensive sort of manager. Putting Ange in there was a mistake. We could all see it.
Yeah,
he was never going to go in. We was never going to go in there with those players, because if those players went and played for an attacking team now, they're going to suffer. Probably apart from Morgan Gibbs-White, because look how Chris Wood is doing. Yeah, so you can't sit there and say, "Oh, Ange is a crap manager," because if you go and give Ange the right culture and the right club, he'll probably go and do well there somewhere. The Premier League is just not for him.
But he struggled 2 games a week last season, though, bro.
Yeah, but this is
look at the squad we had.
Look at the squad, because now Frank's doing exactly the same thing.
He struggled with 2 games a week last season.
Yeah, Frank is doing exactly the same thing.
And then he went back. He went to defensive football, which he didn't know. He didn't do it himself, right?
No, he was
okay.
And
the attack was absolutely crap. The only reason why we won that cup is because the teams just didn't have. If they scored the goal, right? I know this is hindsight. It's a beautiful thing, like they say, right? Okay, and please don't give me that sort of news, but that's an obvious thing that's going to happen anyway. But moving on, like we'll get to that.
And I don't care. He's part of the problem as well, because he's part of the problem, Van der Ven. People want to sit there and say he's been brilliant, this, that, and the other, but last few games he's been awful.
Oh yeah,
he has been bad last few games.
So he's
trying to be Mr. Underrated again, Marlon. You're doing the underrated thing again, bro. You're doing the underrated thing again, yeah. Being the Batman, being the Batman, Bob.
For me,
the Robin Hood, Bob. You know what I mean? I like that, Bob. You're back to what you're doing, Bob. Yeah, like, I love that, bro. I love that. You know what I mean? You know. But anyway,
I wanted to get Danny on something because he was talking about Villa earlier as well.
Oh, really? He's been deluded, hasn't he?
No,
really? You know what I mean? Deluded like always.
The thing with Villa,
joking.
Since they came out of the Championship, they always had a plan. The problem is that Dean Smith and Steven Gerrard just wasn't good enough for their plan.
No.
Unai Emery had a lot of. With Unai Emery, you saw a plan as soon as he came in from day one, and he had the same players that Gerrard did, right? Which gave him credit in the bank that they could go out and back him. So I think the problem you've got is that he was doing it with average players at first before he got the good players.
But Marlon, he had players who could. They still had a better team, right? It took Unai Emery time to build it, but they still had players that were capable of playing.
Who did they have then, apart from McGinn
They'd have
and
to check.
Watkins?
They'd have to
Because
check
the rest
who's
of them
on the
they
squad.
signed, because Tielemans that he signed, Kamara they
When
signed.
did he
He
join
went-
When
Villa?
did they get there? Did they get there? all
2022
outstanding?
he came in. 2022, so he's been there 3
I
years.
think they got rid of Gerrard, didn't they? And then
Yeah.
they got Emery,
And he came in the November.
and I think he did well. I think he
'Cause
got.
he-
It's a good team. Like they still had Luka Dean was there, Matty Cash was there, Boubacar Kamara was there. They had John McGinn was already there, Martinez was there, Bailey was there, Watkins was there, Konsa, Tyrone Mings. So they still had a fundamentally
So
good first 11.
But under Gerrard, everyone would have said they were crap.
Yeah, but those players were playing. They weren't playing well in the way Gerrard wanted them to play.
Exactly.
The difference
So
with our players,
we don't know that.
yeah, but our players over the last 2 years, we've gone from an attacking manager, right, very full force attacking manager, and
But maybe
actually we've gone to a pragmatic manager. So we played two different styles, but the same core of players, and
Maybe
it's the
Frank
same
is
thing.
average. Yeah,
It's
but
the
maybe
same thing.
But maybe because Frank is average, if we wouldn't got an Unai Emery in, who knows?
I don't think anyone is making the Dross players that we have better, in my opinion. That's just me.
Of course, and that's the thing, because the reason why Villa's a great example is because, like you said, they had all those players before under Gerrard, and a lot of people were writing them off. And then Emery's come in, who's this good coach, an elite, because he was an elite coach, because he has been at some big clubs with Paris Saint-Germain, and everyone was writing him off. He's been at Arsenal.
Do you know what?
Still an elite coach compared to what Frank is.
Do you know what? I know what you're saying, right? But just looking at the full list, they actually had, at that time, they had Ashley Young, Philippe Coutinho, Buendia, who's still there, Danny Ings, Morgan Sampson, Douglas Luiz was there as well, right? Diego Carlos. So they had a pretty good. A lot of their core players today are the ones that are playing today. So that's what I'm saying. Like,
But if you read out our squad right now, you'll be able to do the same thing. If you to read out this,
the difference
right
is
now, you'll be able to say.
difference is I don't rate any of our players apart from 5 or 6 players. I think every single one of them should be sold apart from 6.
But then I think when we get into this kind of conversation, I think a lot of people, I'm not saying you in particular or anybody here, but I think a lot of people get confused with what people are actually talking about when we're talking about like what we expect to see from this team. I don't think anybody really expects this team to be top 4 or anything. Well, I don't.
Some people do, bro. That's the thing. Like
anyone that thinks it should be top 4, I think that's a bit far.
Yeah, but that's the problem. I agree.
You're not getting top 4 with Richarlison.
Do you know?
You're not getting top 4 with Richarlison. You're not getting top 4 with Alderbear. You're not getting top 4 with Tell. You're not getting top 4 with Archie Gray. That's not even better than bloody Bentaleb. Remember Bentaleb? Bentaleb,
I
think we can
right? Back in the day, it was better than him all day long. He got
Bentaleb was much better.
You know what I mean?
I think we can get 6th though. I think with what he's got, and I don't think we will.
Do you know what? I saw the squad at the beginning of the season, and I said between 8th and 10th. That's why I said.
Which is where we're at.
And I think this is why, I'll be honest with you boys, I think Frank is doing a lot better than what people think he's doing, because last season we were with the same core players, we lost 22 games. 22, right?
Maybe not for 22 games. We got less points though.
Yeah, but the season's not finished yet. So I don't think Frank is going to lose 22 games in a season. If he loses,
if he loses 22 games, he's gone.
Yeah, if he loses another 6 games, if he say he loses another 6 games, we lose 12 games in a season, right? That's still a massive improvement on what we did last season in the league.
But Danny, that's still not good. But the point is, though,
but it's still better than what we did last season, Alex.
Danny, there's standards though. There's standards though.
Exactly.
Yeah? At the same time, if he gets to that level, he gets sacked. Yeah, he gets sacked. Yeah, there's none of this. There's none of this. Trying to be, beating around the bush about it. He gets sacked. Yeah, because the board. But I've shown their true colours already, right? Okay. The problem with Tottenham at the moment, I'm sorry, I'm fasting forward right now, but the Professor of Truth and Entertainment does that sometimes. You know what I mean?
Where is he? I ain't found him for a while.
Well, you're talking to him right now. It's just identity, culture, as far as I'm concerned. There's a reason why.
You know, been watching the show for the last hour and a half.
Well, there's a reason why. Well, no, because I was dancing, doing zoot dancing, bruv. You know what I mean? Because you have to learn something these days. You know what I mean? You know, like Caribbean music, soca music. But anyway, moving on. Keeping back to the subject at hand here. The point is, though, yeah, right, it's the culture and the identity. I lost it, like I said, and I'm repeating myself again, like every single time. I said it on Mr. Box Office TV. I lost it after Pochettino left, like I said, right? And we got Mourinho in. I knew that was the wrong decision. I was correct all day long, and I've been right ever since. You know what I mean? Yeah. So, and since then, I've not been happy. And people could say to me, I've been negative. I can say that I'm miserable. They can say that I've got no girlfriends. They can say that I'm undesirable. They can say whatever they want. Everything they want, ever they want, and say more, right? But unfortunately, I can't be fake, right? When I'm seeing what I'm seeing right now, and I just don't see it and don't feel it, right? I can't fake it. I can't do it. I'm not that salesman that can sell a crap product to somebody and then sell it to that person, and it doesn't work, and that salesman got the commission that they got because they're a good salesman. You know what I mean? You know, I'm not that guy. I just never was that guy. Maybe that's why I'm not a great Spurs. You know what I mean? Alex, anyway, moving on.
If you was to like, what manager would make you happy right now?
Pardon?
Like any manager, not obviously within kind of reason, not like a Pep or something, but within reason, like what manager would make you happy?
You know what? I've got no idea at the moment.
Neither do I.
I've got no idea. The last manager was Pochettino. Last manager was Pochettino, right? But even him at the moment, I've got doubts at the moment because he comes into this. Okay. It's a different perspective. It's a different era.
I got a separate question then. Not manager. Okay. What do you want to see from this? Is what do you want to see Spurs over the course of the next 18 months? And that goes for all three of you. And we'll end on that. But what do you want to see Spurs achieve, or what road do you want to see them go down over the next 18 months? And do you see them going down that road?
I think for me, they need to make a decision what their identity is, whether they are just going to do coaches, right, and having a director of football that rules what's going on, right, and then the coaches, right. So the director of football, the executives are the ones that do the transfers, and the coach just coaches, right. Right,
what type of coach would you like though? When you say coach just coaches, what type of coach would you like? Because everyone has this debate over
a coach like Pochettino,
okay,
right?
Yeah.
That you can just give him players and he just works with them, right?
Okay.
Like what Chelsea have got at the moment, like what Brighton do at the moment. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, it's just a conveyor belt, right? And the hierarchy decide what they're going to bring in with the coach, but obviously it's a together decision. Right, like what you see in Italy, right? The director of football, right, is the ultimate, basically, right? He's the man. He's the guy that gets the players. He's the one that sets the tone of where the club's going, how they want to play. You know what I mean? That's what they do, right? Right, and then as the season goes on, if it doesn't work, they've got the next coach that they want to get, who's similar to what they had before, right? So it doesn't change. Right, I think Tottenham were always trying to do that under Daniel Levy, but for some reason it kept on messing up, right? Or make a decision on the manager, right, that they want to keep with, right, in keeping what the identity, what they want to do, and everything else, and they've got to stick with that guy, right? Especially for one season, yeah. Even if the season's going awry, right, you know, it's going up and down. You've got to stick with that manager. What I do not want is us sacking the manager and getting an interim in. I do not want that.
Agree with that.
I'm not in the mood for that. Right? I'm not happy with what's going on at the moment, but for certain, I do not want an interim. And that's all I've got to say.
in the next 18 months, yeah, what I would like to see, because what I was trying to even say earlier is that I feel like now is a perfect time for us to rebrand and redesign kind of what we've been over the past even 25 years. Without Levy, and whether Levy made the decisions or not, I don't think any of us will ever know. We don't work at the club in it, but what I would like to see is now Spurs act properly. Act properly. Keep going for the bigger players, even if we're going to get turned down a lot. Aim high. The next level down, you'll fall on the. Do you get what I'm trying to say? The higher you aim, the higher you're going to fall. So if we keep aiming for certain things, that's what I want to see. So I want to see the aims in the transfer market looking good. I want to see us going for players that actually will improve us. But I would also like to see us start going for players that seem like they actually have profiles, not just these kind of Burvow grey types where I can't really pick out what your main traits are. You're just kind of do a lot of things.
It's like they've bought like based on potential, like the potential of a player, but not knowing specifics of the role, basically.
Exactly. And I would like more specific roles to be selected for even the manager. And I would like to, as much as I don't think Frank is the guy to take us forward, I don't want that box office said. I don't really want an interim right now because I don't think that's going to solve anything. And I don't really think there's any managers to come in mid-season. It's just not going to work. They might take us up to top 4, maybe top, whatever. That's with overperforming, by the way. They might take us to 6, whatever. But I think we should stick with Frank now for the year. We've got Frank. Whether that goes past this season, yet to see. But I would like to see that happen. I'd like to see a sporting director, like box office as well. I'd like to see a sporting director take control, but actually act like they know what they're doing. So I want to see them moving in a way where I can see they're genuinely trying to improve the squad with quality players. And then if you're going to keep Frank, make sure you get players that Frank needs and just stick with it. I want to see more transparency from the club because I do actually like how they've come out today and kind of said, they ain't said, oh yeah, like they've kind of made it public. Whether things change after the next 2 games, I don't know, but they've made it public and said, Frank's our guy, we're sticking with him, we're gonna back him in January. Cool. I understand what you lot are trying to do. Keep the transparency up. I quite like that as well. Quite like somebody coming up. I feel like Levy used to hide a lot, so I feel like I'd like someone to come out and let me know what's going on, so I don't have to be sitting here wondering, oh, they're gonna sack Frank. Cool, you lot said you're going to back him. Back him then. Let me see that. I want to see improvements. Like we said, how are we going to attract this player and that player? Act properly. Act big. Act like you can get the player. Act like it. And you might actually get the player. Stop acting like you don't know what you're doing. Go in there. Drop the money. Understand, yeah, cool, we're Spurs. So we might not be able to entice players the same as an Arsenal, City, Liverpool. Give more money then. Give them something they can't say no to. Not every player is going to turn you down because not every player can go to these teams. So keep going, keep aiming. Eventually something will stick. So over the next 18 months, I want to see a rebrand. I want to see Enoch really show us that Levy was the one holding us back. And 18 months is enough time for me to see. I'll be able to know whether they were chatting rubbish and Levy really was being that shackled just as much as anyone else, or if Levy was the one shackling us. I want to see Enoch make some big strides. That's what I want over the next 18 months.
Danny?
For me, the biggest thing is I actually don't really mind where we finish. I just want to see whoever the manager is, I want to see them give the manager time to completely revamp this whole culture and squad, right? Whether that is Frank or not, I think I don't want to see Frank sacked until at least give him the season, right, to see what he can do. But in the next 2 transfer windows, what's going to be telling for me to see if this board really is they are going in a different direction, or if it's the same old. Basically, we will know whether it's basically them who made the decision for Levy, right, or it's actually completely different and they're going to go in a complete different direction, right? And the biggest way for me to tell that is what you were saying, R1, by buying the level of players like your Kuduses, like your Simmons, like those type of players has to be the standard now, right? And the other big thing for me is getting rid of the shit rather than holding on to them for far too long, right? Because what I would like to see is them say, do you know what, Johnson, while we can get money for these players, get rid of him. Go and sell him. If the Palace talks are true, sell him. 30, 40 million pounds, get rid, right? Go and get better. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see Spurs. For me, the biggest thing is seeing Spurs get rid of players when their value is still, we can still get money for these players, rather than sitting on them for so long, and then we run their contracts right down, and we can't even get anything for them, and end up leaving the team, and then it's just a waste of space, waste of time, everything. I want to see what's the word? What's the word? Oh fuck, I forgot now. Do you know, like when how do I can't believe I've forgotten this. You know, like I want to see the whole culture change so that it's more how about my mind just gone blank?
Ruthless for me. I want to see ruthlessness. I want to see
Ruthless.
exactly what you're saying. I'll make it right.
That's the I was just thinking, how's my mind gone blank? Yeah. Ruthless. That's exactly
as you were saying. I was thinking, yeah.
Thank you.
I want to see ruthless.
Yeah, you knew. Yeah, I appreciate that. I want to see ruthlessness, right? Because like you said, we got to get rid of all those players, like the Basumas, like the Ben Davises, like your even players like Udogie. We hardly see him, right? Get rid of him. Bentancur. Get rid of Bentancur. Yeah, get rid of him. Let Gray go on loan. Let Sarr go on loan, or sell Sarr. He's not good enough, right? Get rid of Richarlison. Get rid of all these fucking rubbish players. That's when I'll believe. Exactly.
Knows he's getting 5 years here and he's crap. Players like
do you know what? And no, you're right. No, I completely agree with you. That's for me the biggest thing I want to see is ruthlessness, right? In the players, because if that doesn't change, then it doesn't really matter who the manager is. It's just going to be the same crap over and over again. Like, we'll just rinse and repeat manager cycles. The same thing we'll do is for the next 5 years, we'll get a manager in. He starts doing bad. The players complain. The players stay the same. We get another manager in. 1 or 2 players go out. And it's like the same rinse and repeat every single year. I want to see something completely different in terms of how they build the squad, how they structure the squad. And if I see that, then I'm going to get more on board with what I think their vision is for the club. And I think you'll start to see more of a vision for the club. If they don't actually say it to us, you'll start to see it in the way they buy and sell players. That's what I want to see over the next 18 months, right? Because for me, the summer was a nice little, you could say like a little kind of a tease, innit? A tease into like,
a little
taste. A little taste,
yeah. That's what I want. More of that. I want more, like you said, Kudus and Simmons and these level. I don't care if it's bench. I don't care.
Do you know what, Arwan? Do you know what I'd love to see? Yeah, I'd love to see Tottenham in the window go out and go and buy Ruben Neves, right? You go and get, maybe in the summer you go and get like an Edison, or you go and get an Angelo Stiller as well. So you've got 2 quality ball playing midfielders. You then go and get another maybe destroyer. So I know about Gallagher, but you go get someone like that level who's a workaholic, good on the ball, good at finishing, good at everything. Or you go and get like a Manu Kone or someone like that. You need quality in midfield. You need depth. That's what we need. And again,
how many players you just mentioned there? There's a lot of players there's
a lot of players. There's so many out there.
Bayern and Arsenal, they're not all going there. You can get some of them. We can get some of these players. We just have to. Paratici or Lang or whoever deals with this stuff needs to start really dealing.
Completely agree, man.
These deals. I don't want them to be going there and coming out of here without the player or this rubbish that they do sometimes. I need them to go in there. I don't want no Morgan Gibbs-White situations. If there's no release clause, know about that type of stuff. I don't want to be hearing that embarrassing us. Don't go in there and embarrass me in the window. Go in there, get some proper players. Don't walk out of here. I hear it. We're gonna get turned down by if we're aiming high. It's gonna happen. But make sure I come out with something. Like with this, I still came out with something. Make sure that I come out of these windows with something. That's all.
And that's what I want to see. That's exactly that. That's for me is the biggest thing, because if Frank doesn't work out, say we finish, I don't know, 14th, right? And they decide at the end of the season to get rid of him. At least in the January window, they've gone and got 1 or 2 players who the next manager who comes in, they're going to be quality players they can work with. And then in the summer window, they could go again. But they have to go hard. That's the problem. So I don't mind as long as we change the squad. That's the biggest thing for me.
Okay.
On that note, thank you guys for coming on.
What?
Apart from
Oh,
the
Marlon,
football
before you
sides.
finish, what about you? You ever said what you want?
Oh, bro, I don't know right now.
I know what you want Ash to rap more like he did earlier on.
Oh, rap.
Oh, mate.
No,
No,
you missed it. Ash was on
You
a
missed
mad one. It was funny as shit. Oh, it's so funny.
I don't
Ash
watch
was
the
going
rap.
He lost his head.
mad.
Nah, on a level, look, for me, I personally knew that Frank wasn't the answer from the time when we won the Europa League. Frank should never have been the manager. For me, I always said this: they needed to. It accelerated what they were trying to do. If we had no European football, Frank would have been
I agree with that.
He would have been perfect to steady the ship. But unfortunately, we won the Europa League. Or fortunately for us, it was a great thing. They should have then gone for a next level manager who can handle all of this. Okay, so it is what it is. But we've got him now, and I don't think I can put up with this football for as long as everyone else can. I never liked Frank.
No,
Brentford.
I wasn't a massive fan of him.
Boring. However, he's here. I will support him, and you know what? If he's here to the end of the season, he is. But I think there's the blame games everywhere, and for me, January will tell me where this club's going.
Agree.
There needs to be people coming through that door, and not no short-term loans here, and it's we're going to check this out. Go and figure it out. Go and buy the players. You've had 4 or 5 months to be going to these clubs and be going, we're coming in for this player, we're offering you this. This is what we're doing. January 1st, these negotiations, we shouldn't be waiting until 31st.
Do you know what, Marlon, as well, just before we end, one other thing I was thinking is I actually do believe Frank knows who is shit in that squad. I actually honestly believe he knows there's a lot of shit in there and a lot he doesn't want. And he has been making little hints about the transfer window, like saying it'll be nice to get the players in before the 31st and that kind of stuff. So I think he does. He's not stupid. He can see that we have got average players, and also you can see by his kind of selections, like who he's picking as well.
Oh yeah, because you can sense it. Mawani, you can whenever he gets a chance to play Mawani, now, whether it's left or up front, he plays. Okay, I think once Solanke's back, I think he doesn't want Solanke either. From the rumours that you're hearing, he doesn't want Solanke either, but he doesn't want Charlison. I think Mawani, he sees that he can do something with him. I think he likes Tell's attitude, but can see he's not the player he wants right now. Something's happened with Sarr. I don't know.
He's just average. He's just average, Marlon.
And I think Benton, unfortunately, Bentancur is his favourite midfielder because he's the only one in that midfield that can actually pass the ball. No matter if we don't like him or not, he's the only one who can pass the ball. Paulinho got exposed on basically by Jamie Carragher, and I tell you this now, Frank and the team already knew Paulinho's
of course they did.
They knew what he can and couldn't do, but it was just when they were going to use him, when they wasn't, and that was going to be the issue.
Agree.
When it comes to the back four at the moment, and this goes back to what Danny said earlier, if you don't protect them when you had Bentancur and Paulinho, this is what's going to happen.
They're still going through the middle. They're still going through the middle with Gray or Burva in the middle.
And if you notice, most of our goals and most of the shots we have conceded this season have been centrally.
That's why I can't give Archie Gray and Burva. It's more Archie Gray now, right, than Burva. Because what I will say about Burva, there is something there. But
definitely.
But in saying that. I've said that about a lot of players, right? But Archie Gray, like I said, there's no difference to bloody Bentaleb, and I'm still sticking by what I say. I don't rate Javi Simmons. Because he's no better than Kulusevski, right? He's no better than Kulusevski or Maddison.
At this moment,
Kulusevski were fit. Maddison and Kulusevski are fit, and I'm going to keep this brief because Marlon looks like he wants to go to bed soon, right? Is that if Maddison and Kulusevski were fit, you wouldn't see him for dust.
All I'm going to say about Maddison and Kulusevski, and it's something that I remember someone saying months ago.
By the way, the Dutch Pretty Ricky, Javi Simmons, the Dutch Pretty Ricky, Javi Simmons. I've got to say that.
But I think Maddison and Kulusevski, I'm going to sit there and say this now, are getting more props because they're missing than actually being in the team. Because when they were in the team, all of us were
Madison
frustrated
was
with them as
rubbish
much
last
as
season. Boy. Oh,
yeah. And there was parts last season.
Honestly,
but the thing is, I believe Madison would excel under Frank. Where Kulusevski, I'm looking at going. A lot of us were frustrated with him. A lot of us
I was frustrated as well. I was
with
frustrated as well. But I'm just looking at it.
Yeah. So is Kulusevski living off something because he's not playing?
No,
but when
no,
he comes
no.
back,
I feel like there's
listen.
something missing.
Listen. I've watched Javi Simmons.
He worked hard. Don't get me wrong, because every time
he scores good goals as well. If you look at
my point is though, when you watch him back,
but was he up and
he's
down
up
like
and
the rest
down.
of our players
But the
that
point
everyone
is
else
though,
is complaining?
if you watch the two, if you watch Javi Simmons' pass, right, at RB Leipzig, right, and he wasn't the most top player there. It was Apenda, and Sesko.
He's been crap at Juventus though. Apenda.
Yeah, I know. So it's quite interesting, isn't it? The two, isn't it? It's quite interesting.
None of them have really worked out. Sesko, none of that.
Maybe sometimes you get these partnerships that they all excel each other. You know when you get Apenda, Sesko, and they just all complemented each other's game. You take and when you take them out and put them somewhere else,
it's like Son and Kane. Their connection was teleconnected. Like they just knew. They just knew.
But we are where we are. We lose to Liverpool on Sunday, which we probably will. We'll just move on.
Christmas.
The next loss.
It's Christmas. It's Christmas. So let's be happy and joyful.
We'll lose about 15 games this season, if I'm honest. In the Prem, I think we'll lose about 15.
Yeah, but who cares? R1. It's Christmas. It's Christmas.
On that note, please like, subscribe, and comment. Please make sure you go follow R1 on X. Mr. Box Office, Mr.
Best, worst, and bang average top 5 is coming soon because I'm bored of talking the same thing every single time. You know
please
what I mean?
find Danny on anywhere on YouTube and
you'll
on
find me just everywhere,
and on Insta. You'll find him. And as always, please make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Ash will be back Wednesday with the Rival Show, which will be tasty at the moment because of everything that's going on, especially with Newcastle not being able to get.
Have you got Stefan going on again?
Probably.
I want to go on a stream with Stefan, man. That would be fun.
The Arsenal guy.
Yeah, the Arsenal guy.
Chat to him right now. He's on the line.
He's the easiest person to wind up, Stefan.
You can trigger
so
it.
Easy.
They could be 10 points clear. You can still trigger it. But on that note, thanks to everyone in the chat. You've been a pleasure as